All right, people, we are back. Now, it has been a long time since we've been since we've had a stream, and since we've had a stream with many of our friends from across the multiverse. So, yeah, it's been there's been a lot going on, and I wanted to come on sooner, but life gets in the way. So we hit some milestones here. We hit some anniversaries. We've been around for 4 years. We've helped a lot of channels develop. We've hit our mark of monetization. We're using that to help other channels get up and running and to do other things. And there's more to come on that in the coming future. But this is more about, we haven't talked about anything. We haven't talked about all kinds of Star Wars shows and rumors. There's rumors about Dave, and there's rumors about Kathleen Kennedy, and there's rumors about zero BBYs and all this crazy stuff that I've been hearing that I don't believe. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to run through it. We're going to go through the Twitterverse. I know that one of the guys has been scowling Twitter for the day since we said we were going to get together. And so we're just going to do it. We're just going to dive in, and we're going to talk about some Star Wars. So let's bring everybody in. So we'll do this one at a time because this is my favorite part of the day. So we'll bring in our other local here. We have Sheev hanging out, and then we go to the East Coast, right? And then we have Scotty, and Scotty's here, so that's good. And then we never see this guy. This is we get Q came to join us, so that's great. And then we have this guy, and he joins us from down under. So so how's everybody doing? It's been a while. What's cracking? What's new? What's anybody have new babies? I mean, it's summertime. Anybody happy with their relocation? Anybody moving on? What's cracking, guys?
No, I don't have new babies, but I have oldish babies that are still babies.
Well, it's summertime for y'all, so you got to handle all those little people running around all day, right? And entertain them and keep them from killing themselves during the summertime, right?
That is correct. There's lots of trying to kill yourself without even trying going on.
Mm-hmm. I mean, not like it was in our day where I don't know if you all remember the commercial where it was 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Yeah,
I remember that commercial.
That.
So
No,
there's no more of that.
yeah, I might be the oldest fossil in this.
I remember that.
But yeah, in the 80s and early 90s, a commercial would come on at 10 p.m. and it was pretty nationwide, and it was just really simply, "Hello, parents. Do you know where your children are?" And that was an indication to go, "Shit, where are the kids?" Right? Because that's just how it was. Like when I was a kid, you left. Your parents kicked you out of the house.
Yeah.
After school,
7:00 in the morning,
and then you came home
after
when the lights turned off or turned on at night, or when somebody came out to get you. So, so that's how it was when we were kids. So I'm sure I don't know if you guys.
Then a light went on in the kitchen, and they smacked an egg into the pot, and they said, "This is your brain on drugs."
Well, that one too, very similar time.
that was like
time
95. I think.
Yeah, that was like in the mid 90s, right?
Yeah.
But like in the 80s, in the late 80s, it was like almost like a public service announcement.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know where your children are right now?
Yeah, the street lights on and they're not in the house.
I like the 2000s one where the girl is like just her skin folded into the couch and the dog's trying to talk to her. Why don't you play with me anymore? You never take me out.
I remember the
Like,
one
bro, so
the one where
depressing.
the friend grabbed the gun out of the gun rack and was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm just so high."
Oh my
And it's just like those were the worst, bro. Those were
That
the
is
worst.
old school.
Yeah,
Wow.
those are some old school like don't do drugs. Shot.
Happens every day, man. Happens every day.
But yeah, I mean, so but those were different times, right? And so now you have to kick your kids off the internet, right? So you got like now there's like a button on your phone that's like suspend internet and turns off all the things in your house to make them pay attention, I guess. So
Did you
we
see
just had
the
a different
video
time.
of Dave
There's
that
that?
kind of resurfaced?
Which video of Dave?
It's just an old video where he's talking about something from the Clone Wars where it was like Barriss
Circle
Offee.
square video.
Yeah, the circle
Yeah.
square video.
Well, is this the one that Meg's? Is this the
Yeah.
Meg video?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
saw it yesterday
funny.
before she had posted that video today. It's great.
Well, and I've been running through a lot of older content. Now, I haven't brought myself to watch the Clone Wars from scratch because it's a long watch, and there's some episodes in there that are really tough to get through, just filler wise. But I've been going through some stuff, and I've got some ideas, and this is the kind of stuff I wanted to run by people because in my head they make sense, but then again, in my head a lot of things make sense. So, I want to go through some of the rumors, some of the stuff we're hearing, some of the calls for, the big thing that's been going on in the fandom, I guess, over the last month has been the cry for a new Battlefront. And with the Unreal Engine being able to plug in possibly the old system protocols, basically the old software, and just give it a fresh, you don't even have to rewrite the game. Just give it a fresh Unreal 5 Fortnite look to the exact same game, right? It's not like they don't have the programming in Fortnite already to do lightsabers and blasters, right? Do Battlefront by Epic, by Disney, by, that organization that they bought a percentage of, and use that to build the new Battlefront 3. And like I said, don't even have to make a new game. Just make an updated version that can run faster, that had servers big enough to handle 100 folks, and let us almost Fortnite that shit. Because look at what happened during the Star Wars week or the Star Wars month. There were so many people playing that I hadn't seen play in a long time.
I kind of like the way it looks already, though. I don't know if I'd vibe with a Fortnite look
I just mean with speed, though.
with the speed. Yeah,
I just mean upgraded server packages, right? Because that's really what they need, because it's choppy.
Mm-hmm.
You can do new cool shit though. Put Ahsoka in there. Put Mando in there.
They need to go
Exactly.
big, in my opinion, because it's been so long. Like they should have the flight sim shit like they do with Squadrons. Like there should be heavy flight. There should be on the ground. There should be vehicles. It should feel like
Omni
battle. It should be like
movements.
Battlefield, if that makes sense. The big battles,
Sure.
like
yeah.
that shit had ATVs, tanks, helicopters, like ships dropping soldiers off. Like
Yeah.
I miss that stuff. Just being the guy who's
I
driving
really
people
feel
in,
like
dropping
Scotty's
them off.
playing another game right now while he's talking to us. He's lying.
No, I'm just I see a lot in the news
He's
about
so
Battlefront 2, and it's like that game it's still not cross-platform. It's an old game. It's gonna feel old. Still has the same glitches. There's still a shit ton of cheaters. Some of the bigger Twitch streamers I watched clips of that went back to it had to quit because it was so toxic too. So like there's kids playing in that game, and I don't know. But we definitely need a new Battlefront game.
Well, I wonder what
100%.
the campaign would be about if they did do an update.
We could do
Yeah.
whatever.
I
Well,
think
like-
what they should do are like just because what they do typically is keep it to the maps. So you can
Yeah.
do new maps. You could do even like flashbacks, like the flashback Clone Wars stuff we got with Anakin and Ahsoka, young Ahsoka. Like you could.
That
do
would be dope. Yeah, that'd be pretty
So,
dope. Yeah, that'd be
they can
pretty
do a
close
lot.
to-
that'd
I
be
really
cool.
liked the story for, I guess it was
Mando.
Squadrons with Iden Versio. They were telling like one Empire side of the story and one Rebel side of the story, and then
That
in
wasn't
the end it
Battlefront
came-
2?
Was it Battlefront 2?
Yeah.
No, no,
was
no.
gonna say-
I thought it was
I didn't play
Squadrons.
Squadrons more than like 30 minutes. I was like, eh.
Yeah. But so they do good story with those games that are the multiplayer games too. So
I only played a tiny bit of Squadrons, and I liked what I played, but for some reason, the whole flight thing it just like my brain, like it's
they
like,
made
I'm
it
not doing
hard.
this.
They made that shit hard.
They made it
I actually
too
just
hard.
returned to it and tried it with keyboard and mouse, and nope,
Nope.
still nope.
Nope.
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I think that they look. I mean, the biggest in general, Star Wars games don't make money, right? It's just
Wait till they put a new one out and it's just micro transaction heavy like everything else.
well. Look, but here's the thing though: is that across the entire Lucasfilm games, like Disney games, whatever, whoever's made games for Star Wars, the most successful game, number one bar none, is the one for your phone. Whatever that old Final Fantasy style, what is it? Galactic Republic or whatever the one is for your phone. That's the highest money making Star Wars game there ever has been. Right? And why? Because it's for your phone.
Yeah,
Because there's
mobile
one of
access.
those in everybody's hand. You don't need a PlayStation or a specific platform or a PC. Everybody's got a phone. It works on both iOS and Android platforms. And so that's why that game is successful.
There's like tons of people still playing PUBG just because it's on the phone.
Exactly.
If it wasn't on the phone, I'm pretty sure that game would have died.
Probably.
So, I mean, this is where I'm going with it is like the games aren't necessarily successful. Don't spend a lot of money on it. Just give it an upgrade, right? You don't have to do a lot because people are I mean, look, Dr. Disrespect had 15,000 people watching him play Battlefront 2.
I
Right.
mean, he's Dr. Disrespect.
But the fact that he's
Still
playing
going?
that game, it doesn't matter
Yeah,
who he is and how many people are watching. The fact that he's a big time streamer,
Yeah.
he goes to all these different games and saw the hype and was like, "Oh, I love that game. Let me get into that game," because I don't think he was huge the first time it came out. So like, I don't know, man. It just seems like
I think kind of where they fumble is they have the Jedi Survivor game, Fallen Order. Like we know we're gonna get a third one of that. Everyone's kind of clamoring for that. And then I mean, in the same breath of the reskins, it feels like Outlaws kind of was that. It's like, okay, we're really successful over here with this what do they call it? The build of this game. Let's try to do the same build, but in a different way over here. Brand new story that just didn't hit. I think partially because we're really just waiting for another Jedi game. They should be developing more like multiplayer stuff. Like I know Knights of the Old Republic is still blowing up, and I think it's going to be impossible for them to take people away from that game and create a brand new MMO style game. But they keep announcing games are canceling too. What was the Star Wars Eclipse game that we'll probably
Eclipse.
never see?
Oh yeah.
So I'm hyped for that
Dope
game
trailer,
because it's in a new timeline, new areas. So I think that's what Fallen Order and stuff kind of had going for it because it was within the timeline, but it was stuff we didn't know.
Yeah.
So this game is completely unknown. High Republic stuff. So lots of
Talking about it.
lightsabers. I need
Is
that.
the
About Eclipse.
KOTOR remake still happening? I forget.
Nah,
I was gonna say I
probably
think
not.
that
Well,
got canceled too.
let me stop myself. So there's a rumor that it was canceled, and then someone came out and said it was still in development, and so it was never officially like squashed. But I mean, you could probably just follow the trail and realize it's not happening.
I think that's when they probably always want to have a possibility
Yeah,
of.
I think
like,
Yeah,
just
that's
need
what
the
I'm not
right
going to say.
idea.
It's dead. I mean, it
Mhm.
might be dead, but they won't say it's dead because they don't want to.
the gaming
want to
industry
fight that,
takes forever with certain stuff too. I mean, look at
Oh yeah,
all the other stuff.
at
GTA
GTA
6.
6.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, this new game by Bungie, who did Halo, their new game Marathon, they developed that for 6 years in the background. Didn't tell anybody about it. So
well, but that's the
they
thing
could
is
be making games right now we don't know about.
right, and they should be making more games because gaming is where, I mean, let's be real, 80% of the market is gaming.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you look at how many people, old and young, everybody games, right? So really tapping into that nostalgia while also,
it's been 84 years.
yeah, I mean, yeah, look at the hype on Doom. Look at the hype on all of these, all these nostalgic games that are coming out. There's a lot of hype behind them. Scotty's been playing.
If I had the time, I'd be
been
on
playing
stream with
Dune.
Scotty playing that too. If I had the time and the money, I'm spending a lot of money on house repairs right now. Can't buy any games.
Yeah, amen. I mean, I don't generally. I'm spending money on gear. That's just me because that's what I do because I'm a nerd. But,
I'd
but
be there
ultimate,
too.
but ultimately, I don't. I generally don't spend a lot of money on games. But every now and again, there's a game that I just have to get into, right? And so, Outlaws those are some of the style that I can't help but get into. So, it's kind of a double-edged sword because everybody expects these games to make money, but unless you have microtransactions in the game, you're not making money, and that's why phone games do so successful.
Yeah.
Right.
They're even worse. They got more.
Unless you're like a God of War type game, like those two games that came out did really well, but I think mostly because people were just foaming at the mouth for new God of War game.
Well,
The kicker there too is like to support a live service game like
Yeah.
Fortnite and continue to update it and continue to do all these things. Like gamers are like, how do you think they're making money, guys? They gotta have they have to have these real money transactions in there. Who
They
cares
have
if people
to,
are buying skins? Where I
Yeah.
draw the line is like, okay, you're buying a finisher or you're buying something that is like making your character more camouflaged and it's like an actual advantage in game.
Making them
Yeah.
open.
That's
How many
way different than what
tools do you got, bro?
Fortnite does. Right.
what you
exactly.
mean, like the Call of Duty skin that's all black, and so you can hide in the corner and
Right.
merge people.
Yeah.
or it comes or they release it and it's fully glitched and it makes like just your head show and none of your body. Pull that out of the game and fix it. Don't just leave it in there. Like
Or the
So-
Fortnite skin that makes your
yeah.
skin, your head not appear, but the rest of your body appear.
Right. I would love to see a live
Yeah,
action,
I-
live
I-
service Star Wars.
Dan, I think they sold a lot of those. Well, at least 2018 sold a lot of numbers. Ragnarok was it didn't fizzle, but they did a lot of numbers. But a lot of people weren't happy with it. But
Honestly,
2018 did a lot of numbers.
I mean, look, I wish I had the money to facilitate a gaming company right now in today's market, right?
well, I
Because
mean, you could crowdfund it.
you could crowdfund it, but I want to have, if I was to crowdfund something like that, I would want to have a beta
Just buy
Why
some
are
really
you-
good
Why are
AI.
you smirking, Chief?
because he knows what I want to do.
Oh, I see. I see.
He already knows.
I think I probably know too.
we
But
spent a lot of time offline working on stuff. We got so much stuff in the works, y'all.
Okay.
Y'all don't even know.
Working it.
I will say, if you did crowdfund something, I would just hope that you did it to fruition, because there's a few things out there that
Well, but look,
aware
I
of
mean,
that
even-
aren't really being worked on at all.
Even my channel, right? So that's one of the things I think that I do differently here than I think a lot of other people do, right? A lot of people are using YouTube to try to supplement an income, right? They're trying to find it's not really passive, but they're trying to find another stream of income using YouTube and trying to make that money, right? And we all should. There's some streamers that use their affiliation with certain celebrities to give them more viewership and more and it goes down the way.
Yeah.
What we do here is we do something a little different. I don't mind, and that's the reason I want to monetize. I don't mind taking money, but the money doesn't stay with me, right? Most of the time, the money that I take in goes back out to the community, or funds a giveaway, or funds a new channel, right? And we don't really make shit here because we don't stream enough to make shit here. So the pennies that we make here really end up going into like giveaways, right? So now that the Switch 2 is out and it seems like some people are happy. I was waiting to get into this
Yeah.
till Matt got here because he's got his hands on one. But
Yeah.
we'll rebound back to that when we come back to the
I
gaming
will
section.
not be getting my hands on one.
But what are the thoughts on the coming slate, right? Because really the coming slate is pretty thin in the grand scheme compared to the past stories, right? So really, what do we have on deck? We have Visions, right?
We have
That's next,
Visions. You got the Mando
Ahsoka
movie.
season 2.
Ahsoka
I'm
season
trying
2.
to find the list.
And that's really it
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. The stories that were just dropped with Asajj and Cad, those were pretty good. But there wasn't a lot there. It
Well,
was-
I mean, let's. I mean, we
Yeah.
could talk about that a little bit because I don't think we've all dove into it. But I mean, really, the Asajj stories were just an extension of Dark Disciple,
Mhm.
right? So they really, instead of, that one pisses me off. That's why I didn't think of it. Thank you, KG. That's the one. That's the one that That's the one that chaps my khakis. Out of all of them, that's the one that chaps my khakis the most. So with the Tales of the I feel like all of the tales have added to a character more. They've all added to characters. The Asajj story, instead of deleting a book that a majority of the fandom is very much in love with, instead of doing what they did with the Ahsoka book, which I think they caught a lot of shit about, right? I think basically telling the Ahsoka book story in Tales of a Jedi didn't do it justice, and I think the backlash on that was a little thick, because I think there was a great opportunity to use even the animation to tell that story in maybe an hour long animation, instead of giving us this basically 15 minutes of that entire book, which was still a great, the Tales, Ahsoka's Tales of the Jedi was great. It gave us some different insight. It puts her more into where we see her in the story of Rebels and all that. So it puts her back on the trajectory that leads us to where we get to. The Barriss one was great, right? Good, bad to somewhere in the middle, right? The Cad Bane one was basically showing that Cad's a deadbeat dad, on top of being, a ruthless
Smugglers,
gunslinger.
man, I tell you.
I wasn't too crazy about the Cad Bane one. Not gonna lie.
No, me either.
I think they could have gone with the Boba Fett story much better and filled that gap that we've all been waiting for.
That was just about extending legacy. They were like, Cad's gone, but guess
For
what? He's
real.
got a son out there that's gonna come and throw some
Well,
pistols around at some point. That's all that was. It was just
Well,
like a
the-
cheap way for them to have another character show up to keep that lineage.
I was
lineage
hoping it was
alive.
going to be worth something. I was hoping that it was going to be the story of Boba versus Cad growing up through the ages, right? I was
Imagine
hoping we were
that.
going to see.
Interesting.
I was going to see hoping we were going to see a young Boba Fett meet a young Cad Bane, and Cad's already on his own, and Boba's getting trained by Jango before Jango dies, right? Like, I was hoping it was going to be something along those lines, to where we see the first battle where he gets the dent in his helmet, right? And finally give the fans that we've been clamoring for so long. Instead we got a deadbeat dad story. Speaking of,
Hey,
What are the differences
I
in
love
what we get here, man?
yeah, that's on purpose.
I just get introduced as the deadbeat dad.
Well, no, I mean, it just good timing. I mean,
if you take it that way, definitely.
you take it that
No,
way.
no,
I mean,
in-game,
definitely.
in-game.
Oh, in game.
In game, yeah, you're in game.
Give me 1 minute. I gotta step away for 1 minute.
Yep, you do you. Let me. I'll break you out. But what we were saying, Matt, is that we were getting caught up on the tail stuff, and but let's boomerang back for a second. We were talking about gaming for the last 20 minutes until just a minute ago. So we all collectively want to know your thoughts on the new Nintendo Switch
Ooh,
2.
the Switch 2.
160
everybody.
characters or less. Go.
100. Yeah, a Twitter post about Nintendo Switch. Ready, go.
Here's what I'll say about the Nintendo Switch 2. It's everything I wanted it to be. So I
Wait. Start again.
We're getting real close. Onto my
Start again.
sweaty
Start
face.
again.
You know, racist.
Here's what I'll say about the Nintendo Switch 2. It's everything I wanted it to be. It does everything that I wanted it to do, and I'm very happy with it. It's upgraded the games that I play. I'm replaying Breath of the Wild and absolutely loving it at 60 FPS. And yeah, I love it. Mario Kart World is super fun. We're waiting on more games. I want Donkey Kong. It's going to be great, but I have a whole library of Switch One's games that this thing's backwards compatible, and I get to play all the games on a nice big screen. The thing is heavy duty, awesome. Magnetic Joy-Cons, great, bigger size for adults, awesome. Yeah, I think it was worth every penny for me, so I'm happy.
Okay. So Matt says he's happy. So I can go ahead and justify a giveaway now without feeling like I'm giving somebody a brick of crap.
Oh no, it's
right.
not a brick
It's
of
not.
crap.
Okay.
It actually
Okay.
feels like a Steam Deck.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I heard it's beefy.
Mhm.
I went into Best Buy the other day. They're sold out right now.
It's beefy
But-
handful, huh?
I mean, he says it's 2 handfuls, man. I mean,
You know, Get
That's
that
new
far
for
as
me. I got little mitts, so I'm the Switch One works great for my little mitts. Now I don't know about you, but you know, I don't know about you, but when I'm out and I got an opportunity, I hook it up to the TV. You know what I mean? Because I'm not trying to look at that little screen or carry that heavy screen. You know what I mean? So I go ahead and put that on the big screen. But that's just me. I'm just saying.
Stanley's it's like blink
Stanley's
twice.
is like, are you being forced to say these things, Matt? Blink twice.
Am I allowed to blink? Okay. I love Nintendo.
Well, good, because I wanted to wait till it was released. I wanted to wait to see how everybody liked it before I did the giveaway. And we're getting to the point now where I think that we're going to do it 4th of July weekend.
Ooh, nice.
So I think 4th of July is going to be the date. So I'm going to repeat this as always. We're doing the giveaway July 4th weekend. So make sure you get your membership. A 99-cent membership gets you a entry into the giveaway. We're going to break the Hoppa back out. So go ahead and get your entry by joining at any member of the level ship somewhere down below, I think. And we'll see you July 4th weekend. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to get that thing out of here. So any level of membership, 99 cents. I don't care. Like I said, this channel is more about giving than taking. What you guys don't know, we're going to go ahead and announce it now. And looks like Q's back in the mix. What you guys don't know is that we are going to, we're going to be setting up a new channel here shortly.
Hello.
And so we have a bunch of new toys. So keep your eyes out. We're going to be doing some time lapses and some setup streams, but there's going to be some fun happening in the near future. So keep your eyes out for notifications. We're putting a lot of effort into another new channel. I think we've sent gear to almost everybody that we associate with. And if we haven't and you need anything, let us know, as always. But yeah, I mean, really, yeah, the Hoppa, if you haven't been here for the Hoppa, it's a lot of fun. It's like bingo on steroids, on acid, on all kinds of stuff. So if you haven't witnessed the Hoppa, I recommend being here. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, Scotty's 100% playing GTA right now. Is that what's happening?
He's playing Dune. Probably.
He's muted. He's muted right now too, which is
He's muted.
hilarious. He's
I
muted,
got
so-
stuff to talk about.
So-
I'm waiting for you guys to finish. 'cause
Okay,
we're moving
okay,
on
we're ready.
from-
We're ready for you,
Can you tell
Scotty.
us more about
And
this?
look, Matt's back too. I was giving Matt a chance to get back in the
I
field.
knew it. I knew it. He said
Sorry.
it was an old
Sorry.
stream before, but
He
I saw
wasn't
black
playing
Well,
GTA. He was
Probably
playing
wouldn't
Doom.
notice, but we
No,
did.
I was getting made fun of. Sorry.
He
Sorry.
thought he wouldn't notice, but we did. We caught him playing Galaga. We see it.
Oh man.
This man is playing Galaga.
We understand that.
All right, Scotty, you're up. Tee it up, Buttercup.
No, hold on. I wanted to share some stuff because we haven't talked to you in forever. Have we talked about the animated stuff? Have we talked about the animated Visions?
Wait,
Star Wars
No.
Visions season 3 with you? Okay.
We haven't talked about
How
a lot.
do I
wait, that's
share
not
the
out
screen
yet, is it?
here? No,
He's talking to his
coming.
other stream right now.
it's coming out.
The dude's got 5 jobs, man. He's got to.
Hey, there's a lot going on over there.
Okay. So I think this will work. So there's a couple on top of like the new Vision stuff they're going to give us. We're getting sequels to 3 episodes. One of them is The Village Bride. I don't know if you remember this. This chick had a like flat bladed lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yes.
The enemies were these bandits that drove a Han Solo Millennium Falcon style ship, and the planet you talked about the Force like Magica, so it was like a magic energy. It was very like in touch with the planet. They definitely were like naturalists, kind of, I think. And on top of that, we're getting a sequel to. Is it really?
Aren't we getting the 9th Jedi?
Yeah, we're gonna get an entire series of that.
Why do
Yeah,
I not?
Oh, hey, kitty.
the legend.
This one. So we're gonna get another episode of this.
It's Jonesy.
And there's
Yes,
also a
so we're
novel
getting
out of
Ronin. If you don't have the novel, I
Mm.
think I have a copy here. If
Yep.
you don't have a copy, I can send you a copy.
have a
I bought
copy that
several.
I've yet to read. I need to actually read it.
Dude, that
go
is
back
an
and
alternate
rewatch all of it.
universe.
Yeah.
That's an alternate universe where there were multiple Jedi temples. They were literally like separate sects of Jedi, like that never talked to each other. There were so many, and
Okay.
all these like Order 66 happened at the same time.
Yes.
Oh, you're
Um,
saying in the timeline of Order 66 there were multiple. I mean,
In
there
that
were-
novel for the Ronin, yeah,
I
there
see.
was like multiple Order 66 that happened, not just the one.
That's crazy.
And then
I
Well-
love that Ronin one.
we're supposed to
Yeah.
get a full
Ninth Jedi.
yeah, we're supposed to get a full mini series about this.
It's gonna be
And
called the 10th Jedi.
Within Visions, or is it a separate thing?
it's its own thing. The
its
ninth,
own thing,
this was
okay.
called the Ninth Jedi, and they're expanding it.
That's crazy because they were really big on trying to say, hey, this is going to be like these are going to be one-offs, and we're not. I mean, you know, just not, of course these aren't canon, right? But
Session, bring us back.
oh my god,
I got it. Jeez.
Stepping on
Um,
buttons.
Sorry, dude. Kitty took
Yeah, I
over
kind
the
of
stream,
blasted
bro.
through that.
ass all in my face.
I feel you. I feel like at some point they said
Wait, the Chiefs freeze?
We lost Sheev.
Yeah.
Bros.
Gross.
I
Oh,
keep
he's back.
looking at-
That was-
He's back.
That was Darth Kitty.
And
oh,
he's not
frozen
back.
again.
And he's
This,
got,
this reminds me of Darth Dog.
Now I'm back. Oh God, Sheesh. You're bringing back some good memories. That's funny. as
boy.
hell.
You did
Yeah.
like 3 streams that night. That was-
Yeah, they're open to doing more, I think, and that's why obviously now they're doing a full season with the Ninth Jedi kind of thing. But it's cool that they're actually doing some non-canon stories like that.
well, that was my favorite one out of all of the ones they did. I mean, Ronin was dope in its own way.
Mhm.
And out of all of them that they did, I think those two were my favorite. I think the Ninth Jedi story was a lot of fun with the rope dope, with the Margrave,
Yeah.
with the I also really enjoyed, and I think
What
this
about the
is
saber tech?
you literally read my mind. I was literally
That's
getting
the
to the acolyte-esque saber color, right? Based on how you are and what side of the force you're on is your lightsaber color, and the one guy changing from red to blue, and when he came back and that whole thing. It's all of it was very nostalgic. The Ronin had a bounty hunter, a Jedi bounty hunter, basically,
Mhm.
was what I got out of Ronin, which was dope. But what I got out of the Ninth Jedi was such that Jedi Order feeling, right? The new start to a new order. It just felt good, right?
Bro, the horse Jedi. He had
Right?
the red saber, he had the blue saber, then it went to red, and when she talked him down and like got him to come back, shit was purple.
You know what I find
That shit was crazy. I love
what I
that.
find off-putting about it, I do enjoy all of these, but the only thing that I find off-putting about it is because they went through such a, they went through a lot to just get rid of Legends, almost to just push everything aside. I say Legends, but all of those stories that existed, right? And it's like, if you wanted to put all this effort into having this different alternate take on things, right? You could have actually satiated some of us by giving us a few things from the old Republic as anime, and like it's not canon. It's just, but hey,
Well,
here's your.
but they kind of are, right? So
Are they?
I know that this is a big contention fact, and this is what I've been saying. I've been saying this for a couple of years now, probably 4, since we've been around 4 years now. But really, for me, like this is something that didn't bother me the way it bothers everybody else, because they've been using it more and more and more in these last couple of years. I mean, the big one that really the big one that really surprised me, as well as that I enjoy watching happen, was the Mara Jade lightsaber and comic that they released 3,500 copies of only, and literally are bringing Mara Jade back into the fold, potentially making her an appearance we might see in the futures of Luke Skywalker, in the future story that's coming, where we're going to see everybody. We could see the Mara Jade character now that they've officially released her lightsaber at Galaxy's Edge. It's a canon item, and so as much as people don't want to say, oh, well, they threw out all of Legends. I just think coming in and buying a franchise, much like they did with Marvel, you have to pick and choose what you're going to keep and what you're going to get rid of. And instead of doing what Marvel has been and riding the unicorn that is the comic book era, you have to pick and choose which stories you're going to tell and when. And then you get scrutinized. Like right now, the biggest headline that I see is Disney ruined Marvel. Really?
Yeah.
I remember Marvel before Disney. I don't know if anybody remembers the first Hulk. I don't know if anybody remembers the first one. But I remember when Disney got involved, things started getting real good.
That's
and then you
debatable
forget
in
about
terms of running it. That depends on who you're talking to.
But okay, look,
how old they are, right?
Here's the one that gets me.
Yeah.
Okay. You see this Thanos character, and we're going to talk about Marvel for just a second, just to prove my point. You see this Thanos character in what, the first Avengers, right? In the end credit scene where they're talking to him and about courting death, right? So I think, oh shit, we're going to get the Thanos that can't die because he's in love with death, but death doesn't want him, so he can't die. So I'm thinking we're going to get that Thanos. Right. But then you fast forward and we get a completely different Thanos. Right. But yet the comic book guys are like, this is bullshit. I can't believe you would do this. This isn't Thanos. But then you got everybody seemed to like it, made a bazillion dollars. And then the sequel made $1 bazillion. And then and this is an okay version of Thanos. Right. But then we're going to see now we're going to see a Doctor Doom that's even more powerful than any version of Thanos, that's going to rip his skull out in his skeleton out in like the first 10 seconds of seeing him, right?
But that happened in the comics too.
Right, but which iteration are we going to see? Marvel's created this really interesting thing because they have this multiverse, so they can pick and choose. They can see see the Wolverine from this version of comic. They can see this, but
you
Star
still
Wars
stay
can't
true to.
Yeah, but
I mean, you still stay true to the base story. That's
right,
like,
but
going
they
now,
pick and choose when and how and where they want to tell and show
but
these stories.
Problem with Lucasfilm though is they kind of, I don't. This is just my opinion, right? They kind of missed the boat on that with how they did the sequel trilogy and
Again,
how they established the timelines. Is all I'm saying. So like to bring Mara Jade back in right now, right? Be hella confusing for me.
To bring who?
Mara Jade.
Why?
Now they'd be hella confused.
Why?
Because I just saw Luke go through this whole like arc throughout these 3
right. And what if the
where
reason
like,
that he went through that arc is because his star pupil killed his wife and future baby, and then that's who he's sitting on the mountain on Octu hanging out.
It so hard to believe that.
I have a better theory.
Kylo
I have a better theory.
Why?
Yeah.
He goes completely dark.
No one wants
bro.
to write it though. I think
But that's just it. No one wants to
the
see.
same thing.
Yeah.
No one wants to see a murdered
doesn't
wife
have
and
to do
son
that.
in Star Wars because all of a sudden that's cringe. But then I talk about that's what pushes Luke Skywalker to
it
abandon
wouldn't
his
be
post.
that cringe. Actually, it would not be if they actually pulled that trigger and they did it right. It would actually kind of save the Kylo character in a sense in my head
Well,
because in the movie
And it would save the
he
Luke
was
character.
weird.
You know what would save
No.
everything? And I would pay
She
$50.
disagrees.
No, you know what would save
No,
everything? And I pay $50 for this ticket. Is if we go into this brand new sequel to the sequel trilogy with Rey,
Um,
and it's
I don't
literally
think that's
like
happening.
2 minutes long.
Yeah.
You sit down.
It would
and it's
make
just
things
like
worse.
Luke just
but-
wakes up from a bad dream and he's CGI'd, and then he wakes up next to Margit. And then post credits, like 2 minutes, and then like we just
Okay.
I think they
First
should
of
just
all-
use Sebastian
Yeah,
Stan like everybody wants and like go beyond the CGI face thing. It's like at
Well,
this
okay,
point,
so
yeah.
that leads us. That
Or-
segues perfectly. Go ahead, Dill. Go ahead. Go.
I was gonna say, or like I've been saying, just freaking do it in animation. Because hey, other than Darth Maul, what the hell have you been doing other than Tales of the Jedi the past couple of
I
years?
totally agree.
Fantastic
Everybody
stuff.
went
Animation.
But
I
you
totally
do
agree.
6 episodes a year. It's not enough. You have Luke Skywalker sitting right there. Nobody's gonna give a damn if you recast
Nope.
him as a voice actor.
Nope.
Well,
And then
okay, so
they're not going to
and-
care.
and-
Why not?
and
Stay
thank
tuned
you,
before we
and
see the
and thank you for the perfect. Thank you for the perfect segue because I have been I've been reading about Mark Hamill.
Wait, can
coming
we
out-
not skip real quick? I want one more thing.
Oh, please do. While I'm
Just to-
searching.
Yeah, while you're looking that up, I just wanted to touch on what Q had said about Old Republic
Mm.
and like something else too. Oh, so I think like what I said while we were all talking about that is that no one wants to write these stories, and I would be hard pressed to find someone who came to Lucasfilm and wanted to write a story that attached to Legends that did not include Luke, Leia, Han, Mara Jade, and Lucasfilm doesn't want to tell Legends stories around the canon characters. So then your only other option are like the far off, like Elseworlds type Legends, and I think they're doing a good job now. I was gonna say better, maybe not better, but because they can tell animation and all this stuff with visions, I feel like this is like the new Legends, and I love it. I don't know.
Well, but look,
I didn't
mean,
say I hated it.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
making a point that, you know, there
It's
was a
hard to
lot
find,
that
I
was-
think, someone that wants to come
Yeah.
in and write a Legend
Yeah.
story that doesn't touch the original characters and inspires them to be like, oh yeah, let me get that comic. I'm gonna do that.
But does it? But does it have to? I mean, look, does the Mara Jade character have to? Do we have to see her really being the Emperor's hand? Like, do
Yes.
you really?
Right.
Do you
How are
really
they gonna
need
do that?
to see
No.
that?
You don't have
Yes.
to do that.
Like,
For people who are aware, yes. For
But that's
people
what I'm
who are
saying.
not
Doesn't-
aware, maybe
doesn't
not.
that lead you? Doesn't that lead the people that don't know the story to find the story and thus sell more books?
No.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
Because I'm hard pressed to go and like actually read something that is not. So the thing with Marvel, right? To piggyback off what you were saying there, right? I love Marvel comics, but when I started watching the movies, I kind of stopped reading the comics because I was enjoying seeing everything being on a silver screen, and that kind of took the priority for me now. So now I'm invested in
And it
that
went
canon.
downhill, and now you're reading the comics.
No, it didn't. No, and see, that's another thing. Like, it's gone downhill for some people. For me, it hasn't gone downhill because I'm trusting the process because I know they're working their way to something else. I mean, they had to listen. They ended on such a high note with Endgame. They were gonna have a couple years where things were
downturn
gonna
for
be,
sure.
gonna be
but
slow.
but you
know?
can't. But you
Yeah.
can't
Trust it
say
once
you
X-Men
can't
comes
say
out.
that the company always wins.
No.
And you can't say that everything that Marvel has put out has been golden and then say everything that Disney has done is garbage because it's an
No.
ebb and flow.
And I'm not saying that.
No, but
I didn't
that's
say it either.
but that's what a
Don't exist.
majority of the
Yeah.
fandom is
Yeah.
stating, right? Is you look at the two companies that are owned by the same mother,
Mhm.
right? By the mouse. And
Yeah.
everybody will say, well, Marvel was great up until this fourth phase, and Star Wars has produced nothing but garbage.
And that's
But you-
actually a fallacy as well because
but-
not a lot of people like the first Avengers.
I
That's
mean,
crazy.
Some people did. Some people weren't happy with it. So
But,
it was kind of like split. Yeah.
but again, it goes
Yeah.
back to which iteration of the comics are you reading,
Mhm.
and how much of a nerd fan are you, right?
Right.
Yes, you have to accommodate the Muggles. Unfortunately, you have to lead them to the stories to find the information, right? The Mara Jade lightsaber thing caught me off guard because I was really surprised to see that they were going to do that without introducing her in some kind of animation, tales of some kind of active literature or movie or show. Instead, they made a comic book, only released it with the lightsaber, and that's all you really get, right? And
Yeah.
so, but the fact that they're going down that train and they're going this direction gives me hope that maybe we will get some stories involved in that a little further. And,
Maybe.
and
Well, you know what? There's a comic out right now that starts like almost right after the Return of the Jedi. I just picked up like the first episode or five.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
but
I mean,
you
they
know,
did the same thing with Starkiller's armor in Andor, though. I mean, and I don't think we're going to get anything else with Starkiller. I
Well,
think
that
that was
was-
just like,
That's
Yeah.
more Mandalorian
Oh.
culture, armor.
Well, that was
like,
more-
it
that
happened
was
to be
wouldn't
what
that more Sith
Starkiller
Eternal?
War technically.
I thought it was Starkiller's.
Oh, wouldn't
It
that more
is
Sith
I don't,
Starkiller.
I don't think
But
Tony Gilroy
in
had
that-
any idea what they were putting in that scene. He's just like,
Probably
In the
not.
background, they're just
Like,
like throw
random
artifacts back
things.
there.
I don't
Probably
like when
not.
you look at Andor and you're like, oh, but this no, that doesn't connect to anything.
He's probably
like-
like, give me the most like
What
What can I put
obscure,
here? Yeah.
crazy stuff in the background that you could think of, and they're like, all right,
Well-
let's get the
Well, yeah, I
hands
mean,
on the-
let's make the fans speculate in the trailers is what they wanted to do, and then
Yeah,
they just rode
yeah.
with it, and that's great. But look, ultimately, the story, what Disney has done with Star Wars, and yes, there are some, but this goes back to the 70s and 80s. The fandom was upset when Empire came out, right? Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of old school fans when Empire came. Were you
Yeah.
alive Were you alive in the
What's
70s?
old-
Were you at the premiere?
What's
Yeah,
old
it
is
matters,
new,
bro.
What's new, it's old, man. I'm telling you, like
It
people think
matters.
that
People-
everyone loved everything. They didn't.
People hated
No.
hated Empire when it
Hated
came
it.
out.
Oh,
Right?
There are
man.
still people that hold on to that hate.
Oh,
of
yeah.
Empire.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Go
they
down a
insist-
rabbit hole, dude. Look up
Mhm.
I hate
I mean,
Empire Strikes Back, and you will find a plethora of
Cocaine's a hell of
people
a drug.
that were like, F Empire, this is BS. This is not the
It's wild.
sequel to the story that I watched. Dude,
Predates me by like 5 years, but whatever.
I'm just saying, like, it's a fact. And so there's always been this squabbling in fans.
You
of
know what got rid of
authenticity.
that though was time. So lots of time, and there not being anything new, or on the screen at
They
least.
must
right?
have hated that Luke and Leia
Yeah.
kissed each other and they were brother.
Oh,
and sister.
dude, there was so much. And even after Jedi, then people were like, did they even have any idea what they were doing during Empire? The same way that they talk about the sequel trilogy is the same way they talked about the original three
Bro.
movies.
Everybody tries to make this argument.
It's
It's
fact,
never
dude.
gonna
It's
be
not a
looked upon following.
look.
It's
This
not
isn't
happening.
politics
You're
where
not
you
gonna
can
do
gray
it.
over the facts of history,
Not gonna happen.
right? This isn't like, oh,
Sorry.
this did or didn't happen. Go talk to people who were alive.
You want to do that same exact parallel though?
You know,
Because you're saying like, all right, give it time and the sequels will look good, right?
they already
Yeah,
do.
I'm not saying that
No,
at
no,
all.
no, no. Hold up.
I'm not saying that at all.
I know you.
I am.
You can't make a pile
Yeah.
of shit look good.
It's
Sorry.
me versus
Apologies.
this guy.
Oh, it's okay.
This far.
Humble pie is a horrible thing to eat, bro.
No, listen. You want to make that? All right. Here's the parallel right there. All right. The
Oh,
prequels
jeez.
came out and people weren't happy right away. Right. There are people hating on it. Like one kid, life all screwed up. The baby Darth Vader kid. Right.
Mhm.
But then you know what happened? The animated Clone Wars came out and people loved it. And it backed up and it fulfilled that story. It made everything make way more sense. What happened after the sequels came out? Resistance came out. How'd that go over? Not good. Because
Right,
nobody
and,
cares
and
about
what
that
and what have
character.
they
Yeah,
and
they
what
need
have they
to
done
make-
since? They've built this Mandalorian story that
Yeah.
literally coincides with the Ahsoka
You know what?
story.
Obsession. 20 years from now, you're
That-
gonna owe me another mug.
That's okay. Your mug's on the way. You're gonna. Well, look, they built this entire Mandalorian story that literally coincides in the timeline with the Ahsoka story that leads you right back into Luke, the Luke that you all clamor for, the Luke that you all think is real, right? And
Yes.
so it leads you right back into this fanboy
Very
Luke
shallow.
jerk off that we always get into. That's literally leading you to him building the temple that you
one
guys
other thing.
want him to
Wasn't-
build his new society of Jedi that literally they're doing. Oh wait, that is the same place that they see him burned down in the sequels, right? It's all
remember
the
most
same
popular Star
shit.
Wars game you just talked about a little while ago, Battlefront 2. Who showed up in that? That young.
That's
badass
not the
Luke
most
right after
popular game that
Jedi.
they've made. The
Oh,
most
what?
popular game that they've made is a telephone game called Rebellion or Rise of the Rebellion or some bullshit, right? It's a phone
Not a
game.
thing.
Battlefront was not successful. Otherwise, they would have made a third.
No.
Well, yeah, they kept doing stupid microtransactions, which is
Oh, that
why-
was EA's
You don't say
fault
that.
and continue.
One of
yeah,
the-
but that's why
But-
EA is not making a third one.
Correct.
You know
We're
what?
getting
One
it
of
into
the
somebody
most-
else's hands.
Listen, like this whole like retroactive
shit,
fix
Felicity.
things. It's like it doesn't work very often, and like look at the Knights of Ren, right? They still haven't made them make any. They just don't matter to me. Like they were
Right.
supposed to
I
be.
mean,
They were supposed to be. They're supposed to be a big deal. I mean, you don't mention something in a film like you make them all menacing, it's like in you know talking about them, and then it's like you just fizzle out to be like there's nothing.
well,
Here's
look,
what I'll
Scotty,
say
who is
about the comparison between
Scotty
them.
turned off his TV.
Because
Made him do it.
the comparing the OT or even the prequels to the
Yeah.
sequel trilogy,
Yeah.
it doesn't quite work because of a couple reasons. Now, the
He's going
the sequel
Felicity.
trilogy, here's what I'll say: the sequel trilogy, watching those films individually are
Mhm.
entertaining in many ways. They are entertaining movies.
Yes.
The fact is,
Yes.
they're very broken. They don't fit right as a trilogy, and that's because the whole system was broken at
Yeah.
the core.
There was
that
a war
wasn't the
between
situation
directors.
with prequels and OT. But here's
Yeah.
the thing:
Yeah.
this can
Just-
build quality with additional things, but that's
Mm.
where the sequels missed the mark. They didn't explain certain things or set up certain things
Yes.
well, and that's why now
Yeah.
adding things to
Yes.
build a bridge
Yes.
is not almost, it's required. Unlike with the prequels where Clone Wars was an add-on that added to the
An
experience.
anecdote.
Clone Wars was also a show that was not seen well at
Yeah, but
the
also, there's
time.
also a
Yeah.
movie.
No, hold on. Clone Wars was also a show that was not received well, that
cracked on.
bankrupted George Lucas and Lucasfilm, to which he had to sell Disney,
Mm-hmm.
Lucasfilm, and then they finished the sequel. They finished the
Yep.
Clone Wars. So technically, it did
But-
so poorly. If it's
got
such a
canceled
great
3
bridge,
times.
and if
But
it's
that's
fixed,
not my point.
and if it
the
fixes,
numbers, regardless of the numbers, Clone Wars is not necessary to make the story fit.
right?
Yeah, that's the
No.
point.
But it
That's the
makes
point,
the
yeah.
story make the most sense.
Yeah,
and you
right.
know, to your point, Matt, though, and that's what I was trying to say. Like when you start to add things on after the fact to try to help solve the problems with what you gave us before, right?
Yeah.
I'm not invested enough to go back and look at everything, right? To make everything make sense in these films. Because once you've given me these 3 films that don't fit together and they're just like already hodgepodges in and of themselves, right? For me to go back and have to look at a bunch of mediums to make everything in those films make sense.
Okay, did
That's
Luke,
too much homework.
Did
I feel that,
did
but-
I did not
I missed
sign up
that
for
word.
homework.
Yeah,
did
that
Anakin
word in
Skywalker
years.
look like a bitch at the end of the prequels?
Yeah,
Everybody-
but he's the Darth
No.
Vader.
Yeah, he
No,
got
he
He's
didn't-
the Darth-
he didn't look
Hayden
like a bitch to me.
Christensen and the young man that played young Vader.
Yeah.
I'd say after
Got-
episode 1 and 2 he did, but after episode 3 he
Episode
looked
3,
like
no.
less of a bitch.
And
Yeah.
and
Yeah, he
and
slayed
why did
children.
he leave Hollywood?
What are we talking about?
Hayden Christensen.
He didn't. He made Looper.
He left Hollywood because they
Okay.
called him a
Jumper.
bad actor.
Jumper, he made
They
Jumper.
said that he couldn't act. They said that he was a shitty everything. Go back and read the articles, dude, because I did.
And
That's
you know,
why he
and-
left
yeah.
Hollywood. He didn't
Really
leave
did.
Hollywood because
Yeah.
he went and had
No.
babies and he Rick Moranis that shit and his wife
That's
passed
why it's
away and
so
he had to go
emotional
raise his
that he's
kids.
back.
Right? He left because the
Yeah.
media shit on him.
And
the
the
fandom
unfortunate part
shit
about
on
that-
him
Yeah.
and he left because
And George
everybody-
wanted him to play it that way, though, too. That's the unfortunate part about that.
But
he
why?
asked him to play it.
But
that
why?
way.
Because George knew
Yeah.
I'm going to make this animated series that's going to make that character look so amazing between those 2 films that he's not going to look that way anymore. He's going to look like
Mm.
the hero, the general hero that you watch break, right? He made you appreciate.
I don't know if he planned that ahead of time.
Yeah,
I was about to say, I don't think.
George plans anything.
I was
Absolutely,
gonna say
dude.
no,
This
he
dude-
didn't. The Targovsky Clone Wars came out first before the movie even came out, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Eh,
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I keep
Uh,
glitching, man.
no,
He
no.
went
right at
back
the critical
after he
moment.
finished the trilogy, though,
Yeah,
and that's
right,
when
he
he
was-
was like essentially wanted to create the Clone Wars to make it feel more complete. That is why he wanted to create them. And he
And it
also
made the
felt like
prequels better.
Targovsky. Yeah, it did. He also didn't feel like the Targovsky Clone Wars were exactly what he kind of envisioned for that story. So he's
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm going to tell this story and make it make my other trilogy.
and he
a
did it at
little
the expense of
enhanced.
his entire
will
fortune.
add-
Oh, yeah, he
I
did.
will add that I was not a fan of the prequels either, though.
Right.
But I was not as upset about the prequels as I was about the sequels. Okay, you know,
Fair.
Well, but look, I mean, look,
I'm just being honest. Like,
There's-
I
there's
didn't
a-
hate him,
Look,
but
man,
listen, I wasn't
don't
like
know
falling
what
out of my
people are so
chair
mad
for
about
him. You know,
prequels. I don't know.
you know.
Well,
I
but
did
there's-
like episode 3. I'm just saying I wasn't that big of a fan of.
I like them all. Like people dog on like Phantom Menace. It's like, dude, we got Darth Maul.
I actually love Phantom
Yeah.
Menace. That I go back
Something
to
I'll
that
say
very
about
And then people notoriously are like,
Right.
"Oh, Attack of the Clones, terrible." It's like, yo, we saw Yoda hold a lightsaber and go nuts for the first time ever. I was when that happened in my theater. It was like,
Oh, as a kid, I love that.
No, I don't need the camera on you. But what I'm saying is that I don't think that these studios go into making like six seasons of the Clone Wars thinking, this is gonna bring the fandom back. They're gonna love the prequels again. So I'm
Sure.
not really looking for them to like write stories for the purpose to make
Yeah.
make the sequels better.
That's
But
100%.
what they could do are the
Sweet
very
number.
vocal things people want to see, like what the hell was Luke doing with Kylo the whole time? Why did
Who the
Leia
fuck is
actually let him go? Right.
Yeah.
Snoke's backstory. So listen, love it or hate it, there are stories that would make the sequels better for
100%.
everyone. If
I would
done
read
right.
that.
If
I would
done right.
read Snoke's backstory. I will say that.
The one you
that
showed
I
me,
would
Scotty,
read. That I would. read.
But
Kylo
that's-
Ren one with Snoke and young.
Dude,
young
yes,
Zen.
they've already
Charles
told the
Soule-
story.
The Charles
Yeah.
Soule, Kylo Ren stuff.
It was
where
so good.
it's- Yeah,
So
where
good.
it's,
No,
he
but
meets.
is it-
he,
is-
he
but
meets
is
the
it
Knights
like-
of Ren. Yeah.
Is it bookend to bookend the entire story of Palpatine entering this body and then manipulating everything, or
That'd
is
be
it
sick.
like no? I want like all the details. I don't want like
Well, but look,
some
Yeah,
little
dude.
glossed over pieces.
They
You know,
could do
come
stuff
on.
like that.
There,
Don't give me a teaspoon.
The fact that you see the same temple in Mando,
Okay.
Mhm.
that in the Mando time space that you see in the sequels,
Yeah.
that's the bridge they're building. We can't do it all at once.
Well,
right?
no,
It-
that's the thing, though. I feel, and
Yeah,
maybe
but by
you
the time
can.
we do it, I'm not gonna care anymore.
Yeah, you will.
No,
Because you're this old and you already do, and you
I'm
still
41, dude. I'm
do.
already
And when
tired.
your grandbabies are like playing with
Damn it.
lightsabers, you're gonna be like, man, when I was a kid, boy.
can't. Scotty, I feel like is with me though in terms of like it feels like they're taking the what they should do is take and make great stories that happen to also fill in the gaps of what the sequels could potentially do, and that's like I feel like they're trying to do that sometimes with the Mandalorian stuff and what's going on in the Ahsoka era, but it's like they
Mhm.
almost need to do it more and stop kind of messing around with stuff like the Acolyte if they want to go all in on that.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
like
think the Mando movie will push it further? Like, do you think we'll see glimpses of it?
Maybe.
So I'm not gonna lie, I've already heard stuff about the Mando movie that makes me feel like it's gonna be more of a movie that they make out of a season of a show, which is already what they
Yeah.
should do with the Mandalorian stuff.
Oh, like Adventure of the Week sort of deal.
Well, but here's the thing. Look,
Chief, come back to us. He's right
I
on
know
the cusp of
I
saying
know Snoke is. I know he's
Every
a failed
time.
Palpatine clone. That's not what I mean.
So,
but
okay,
he's
but look,
just said
here's
to
the
be
thing.
manipulating all these people.
they're
That's what I want to see.
they're already laying these breadcrumbs in Mando, right? So the Shadow Council is the
Mhm.
biggest link between the sequels and what's happening right now, and that's going to usher us to the sequels. Now, here's the thing. Here's what people forget is that we have all of this story that's connecting at this moment that they're literally putting together. We have the Shadow Council's talking about Thrawn's return. So you got Thrawn's little gaggle of people, including what we saw in Ahsoka to get him back to our galaxy and onto Dathomir. We don't know
Then you
what's
have
in the cases. Then
Project Necromancer.
then we have Project Necromancer gets mentioned at the council because everybody's jockeying for funding. Meanwhile, Moff Gideon has already figured out cloning, right? So that they already figured it out. The problem is they destroyed him and thought he was a joke instead of backing his research that would have put Project Necromancer on the forefront. So now that puts Thrawn's people in front of Project Necromancer. So
you know
what's
what,
gonna
though? Actually, I don't think that they completely killed that though, because they did give him what he needed in the end, right? And there is
right, but
evidence
he
of it
wasn't
having
sharing
happened.
data back to them. Is what
You
was
don't-
going on.
You don't
He
think
was
that
keeping.
they would have a way established for them to discover?
Sure,
they're
I mean,
gonna do some
they're
kind
going
of
to
plot
have
point
to
like
find
that.
those
They'll
advancements.
figure it out
But
eventually. yeah.
but he had already perfected his cloning process. We have to see iterations of
Yeah.
Snoke fail.
Mhm.
It's a process. It's a continuation of a failure after failure because they didn't get Gideon's research because Gideon had
Yeah.
the Kaminoans,
Yeah.
right? So he had all of the Kaminoan research at his disposal that he was keeping secret because the Shadow Council wasn't sharing information. So when his facility blew up, it took all of the progressive Kaminoan cloning with him. So that put Project Necromancer behind. And with Thrawn's return, Project Necromancer is now going to get even more fuel for the fire because the search for Thrawn is over. Now the Empire has leadership, right? And so now they can push Project Necromancer forward in building clones for Palpatine.
They have it
I
for
gotta-
the,
I
the
gotta
amount of
push
time
back.
of like a season or maybe a movie though, because he's not in the future. So,
Well, that's what I'm saying. Thrawn either has
Yeah.
to lose,
Yeah.
or Thrawn has to go back to his people with his new Dathomirian army. Right, whichever way, Thrawn has to disappear because he's not involved in everything in the sequels. So
Yeah.
either he has to go back to his people, or he has to lose. Right,
Or-
one or the other.
Or he's in hiding again because he's waiting for some other shit to go down, and he's gonna come back.
Sure.
After.
Getting stupid.
So are we
Somehow,
Are we all
Thrawn
Wait, wait,
returned.
what did you say?
Somehow, Thrawn returned. No.
Are you speaking my language right now?
we're all on the same page that like Palpatine never learned essence transfer from a master.
No, 'cause
and that
that's
he's
why
trying
you
to figure
kept-
out why he's creating a body.
Yeah, I think so.
He's trying to figure it out on his own.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
trying to
transfer.
work
Yeah.
it all out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get you.
So-
I get you.
So
I get what you're
when
saying.
everyone's like wanting to hear like the Palpatine backstory and how did he do this? How did he make this possible? Personally,
I'm not.
that's not where I want to learn it from.
No, I
I'd
don't-
rather
I don't
hear
really-
it from Bane. I'd rather wait for the old Republic. I'd rather wait for them to dive into the actual Sith stuff. They're going to do that eventually. That's where I want to learn about it.
Oh, they were gonna do that
Palpatine
now.
figured it out. Whatever
I
he
think
did.
you're
it's
wrong.
fine.
I don't think that's coming at all. I think we're gonna get something else.
Well, I
We're
mean,
gonna
with
run out of
with
real-
the
we're gonna
mall,
run out
with,
of real estate eventually. We're gonna get
with
it.
the mall stuff, and even Sam Witwer talking about
Free
this
real
is going
estate.
to be really dark. This opens up doors to
Chest
get a
brain,
little
free real
darker
estate
and a
and
little
sequels.
darker and a little darker.
Mhm.
There's, they're going to do more than we think.
Mm.
And with, rumors are that Kathleen's going to retire. Rumors are that Dave is going to succeed her. Rumors have been spreading around for years. She could do an Iger. She could leave and come back again,
Mhm.
right? She could do a
Yeah.
Palpatine. Somehow they come back
Somehow.
again, right?
Somehow KK returned.
But
The
ultimately,
jokes
right
write themselves.
right now, and you mentioned with the Acolyte did a great job. Honestly, the boomerang ratings on the Acolyte were actually freaking good, right? And so it may not have hit the mark on premiere time, but the rewatches on Acolyte were actually really good.
People could
They-
rewatch that.
Oh, dude, I've watched it a couple times.
They didn't give it the Willow treatment. It's still there.
It's still
Yeah.
there. I was worried. That's why I watched it a couple times, because I was worried it was going to get the Mighty Ducks treatment.
Willow just
Um,
disappeared, right?
Yeah, Willow, the
remember
Mighty
that.
Ducks.
Yeah,
There's
they're
a
gone.
bunch of shows that got
Wow.
the axe.
They
put
formed a flying V
Metallica
and they
Nice.
were out.
Some tax write-offs, huh? Nice
So-
tax write-offs.
But ultimately, I mean, the fact is there's room, and honestly, I mean, I am not a good writer. I wish I was a more
Practice makes perfect.
but they have opportunities to use the Acolyte as a stepping stone if they don't want to continue off of it,
Yeah.
right?
True.
The smart money would be to move on and to not rehire the Amandla. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Amanda Sterling. You
Yeah,
don't
not
think so?
not to rehire her, and if they do use her the way they did the Trinity character, one scene you get your head chopped off, you're done, and then use the Acolyte as the first introduction to the Sith, right? And then use that as a springboard to see the Plagueis finding Palpatine,
Yeah.
and
That's what the last season was supposed to be. And then they said, I'm not Sith.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I mean,
People just jumped the gun to hating that show because it was so easy for people to point at and hate, especially
there was
the zeitgeist.
I mean, the target was I mean, literally the strike zone was from head to toe, right? I mean, every single thing that
You
went
couldn't
on
miss.
during the duration gave fuel to the fire, and by the time the show aired, it had so much bad press that nobody wanted to touch it, and if they did, they just wanted to tell negative stories. And during the airing, letting a actor or director say a word to the press in
Yes.
any negative facet while a show is airing is bad business.
I don't blame Amanda for that though.
Why?
Like, I kind of put that on the writers because the way that her character's positioned, sure, I mean, they could have picked someone else to be in her position, right? But like the way that the show was written, I think did more of the enticing than the actual casting did.
Putting out a I want to use the word loosely, but putting out a musical anything
Mhm.
and attacking anybody in that fan, executive, anybody, cohort in crime, anybody, and putting a negative spotlight on a negative spotlight that's already in a negative spotlight doesn't do anything for your brand. But
Wait, I think I missed something. What do you mean a musical? What happened?
Oh,
there?
she made a music video, basically yelling at everybody.
Okay, well
Wait,
that's
what?
dumb.
You never
I
saw
guess-
that?
Okay,
Never
no, I
seen
didn't.
this?
No, I didn't.
You
know.
guys-
Somebody
seen
please
that?
I
find
thought you
it.
were talking
Somebody,
to-
It
Yeah,
didn't
please
go
find
over well at all.
No,
Somebody please find it.
I'm not doing
no,
that.
no.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
I'm
stuff
not
that they
doing
did
that.
in the
Demonetized
process of
immediately.
the.
Hey guys, listen. It's been an hour into the show.
Okay.
This is a 4-year anniversary show. I can't fucking believe we're talking about this all right now again.
Fair.
Ahsoka season 2 is coming out. You guys want to talk about
upsetting
that?
you, Scotty? I'm sorry.
Sure.
What?
No, I'm just saying, like, we can keep going, but I honestly can't believe we're talking about the sequel, prequel,
Am I being-
discourse.
I'm the
and-
Debbie Downer.
Well,
Are they
Okay,
gonna
so
make? Are they gonna
I'm
make
with you.
shows
Let's-
that make people come back to the sequels?
So,
I'll talk about it all
Yeah.
day. You know I will.
Can we talk about the music video though? I really don't know. What the fuck you're
No,
talking
and I
about.
don't. And that's
Okay,
the reason
well-
I'm
well-
stopping
well-
right now because I do not want to talk about.
we'll get okay. Long story short, there was a music video that came out in some negative spotlight, and that was, and it didn't do any plot. And then
I'm
everybody
really
jumped.
curious. Can I get a
ev-
name? We'll look it up.
I didn't
just-
see the music
just-
video. I did see she made some stupid comment in an interview.
No,
that
she made a
everybody-
music video. It was
okay.
awesome.
What's
Um,
the name? What is it?
Just look up
I-
Amanda Sterling music video for haters, and it'll
Yeah,
pop right
come
up
on
in your
now.
feed, dude. First thing that'll pop up, I guarantee it. So, Ahsoka season 2. So I just went through personally. I went through and watched a bunch of Rebels because for some reason YouTube is playing Rebels like crazy right now.
Mm.
And so I've been getting into that. And then I went through Ahsoka season, the first season of Ahsoka again. And I started kind of looking at a couple things and kind of trying to piece what's going on with the story. And it seems like, so I go back through, I'll pull it up since we're not pulling up music videos.
Please don't.
I'm not, I won't.
I like the Balin casting. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
Going into
I
season
do.
two.
Hey, while
do
he's
like
doing
that
that,
as
wait,
well.
wait.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Q. Q, you're
Yeah.
awesome. That was great. Hang
That's,
on, I got something.
There you go. I mean, it's got to
I'm
happen.
beating into it. I'm
Hi,
beating
Leia.
into it. Finally, some positivity. Are you guys
Oh,
ready?
Here we go.
You got some big boots to fill, stepping into the role of old Balin Skull.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Following the late great Ray Stevenson, what can you share about honoring, that performance while also making it, your own role?
Can't really say much apart from just it's big shoes to fill. I'm so glad that, and I think it's the right decision to carry on his storyline, not just cut it off. We've done it before with other things. I hope the fans embrace it, and I'll do my best. I'm just starting now, so I'm just trying to be in the right zone for doing it. It's pretty bloody exciting. I mean, I remember being a kid with my dad going to the first one, probably in the late 70s, and now I'm training with a lightsaber at night.
I
Really?
love it.
You got some big
Wait, but why are you training with a lightsaber? Wait, why?
Why wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't he?
I mean,
Balin-
like-
Balin used
so-
the lightsaber.
Sure, but so we're gonna get
From
another
where we
Ahsoka
left off.
confrontation? Like, come on.
Well,
Oh,
look,
he's definitely,
yeah.
we're going to see him
Ahsoka
in combat.
again?
Because he's
Like,
already,
oh man,
you remember, he had combat scenes
Right.
in
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. So
Yeah.
he's going
Yeah.
to be building off of that.
Well, and he knows how to use a broadsword, is
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you're saying,
Yeah.
basically. Right.
Mhm.
I mean, who knows what he's going to come into contact with outside of Ahsoka too? Because we don't know what he's heading into.
Well,
I
yes,
mean,
we do.
That is
We
true.
know what he's heading into.
do
Absolutely.
we?
Yes.
I mean, I've
It's-
seen more of
it's
the
Abeloth.
statues, but we don't know. You
No,
think
it's
it's
Abeloth.
Abeloth?
You gonna fight
100%.
Abeloth with a
100%.
lightsaber? Good luck.
No, but look, here's
Has-
but there's going to be
So many people are trying to say it's not now.
It
I'm
is.
like,
I got it. It's Mephisto.
come on. Now.
it's
Mephisto.
it's Abeloth, and look, it's a again, this is a story from Legends. This is what I was saying earlier. This
Sure.
boomerangs back to what we were talking about earlier, and I'm glad that we got to
You
this
sure?
point. Abeloth is 100%. Abeloth is coming through. This is a story from Legends. They're connecting it using the world between worlds, the Father, or the Mortis arc, and so the idea that Balin Skull is going to lead us to the tomb of Abeloth. I'm not necessarily saying he is going to embody the essence and the character, but we have Shin, we have Sabine, we have Ahsoka. There's several different force sensitive entities that could potentially be the new vessel for Abeloth. And so him having to fight Ahsoka, Shin, maybe even the Marauders as he gets closer, there's going to be some kind of defenses in this temple that were put there by the Mortis gods. This is going to be, for Baylan Skoll's character, this is going to be an Indiana Jones-esque thing. Right. And so he might have to fight some kind of temple guard. He might have to fight some kind of, we've seen with the Zepho, and we can go back to some of the Zepho technology. We've seen the guards, the temple guards for the Zepho are not something that you can just defeat with a blaster, right? So you have to use the force, you have to use your lightsaber. So I kind of think there's going to be some Indiana Jones defenses going on, only the penitent man will pass. Those kind of
What if we're overthinking it and it's just more something like this? What if it's like a Sith temple of some sort,
Kind of
like an
Malachor
actual
stuff, yeah.
Sith
Sure.
temple?
Could be.
Love it.
Could be.
That
Love it.
they've been to Peridia before too.
I don't doubt that
There's a big light for sure, right at the end, at the top of that.
There's
thing
an
that we
obelisk,
see
yes.
blinking.
there's an obelisk.
That could
This
be
is the
embedded
vibes I
in that
got.
mountain.
This
That
is the
could be
vibe
in
that I
there.
got.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my point
just
being is
had a
that they
crazy
are
idea.
using the stories from Legends, right? The story,
Yeah.
the old stories. They are using those, and they are bringing us back
Hopefully.
to that through Dave telling this story and weaving us back around. Now, the thing I wanted to mention, and there's a couple things we're going to talk about, but the thing I wanted to mention was this. So there is we look at the initial time we see this world, right? This is from what, episode 13, season 4 of Rebels, right? This is the world between worlds. And if you notice, as we get into this, the thing that I notice the most is, what do you see on the horizons here, right? Like, more than anything, when they do these pan shots, what do you see in the background?
More portals.
Gates, right?
Yeah.
You see all these gates. You see in this one, there's gates everywhere,
Yeah.
and you see the same kind of footprints that we see from Ezra and from everybody as they're walking through, right? You see these.
Do you think there are
same-
other people there at the same time as him and we just can't see them?
No. But
No?
here's what I want to get to. So we get to this point and we see all the gates and everything, right? Now we transfer over to this scene where we come into Ahsoka
There's
in the
no
world
gates.
between worlds. What do you see?
I don't really see any
No gates, right? I'm doing a Lou Pesci. I'm doing a Joe Pesci from My Cousin Vinny here. So tell me right here, how many gates do you see in the background here?
Over here, dear.
Over here, dear.
Do you think it's because it's more of a
So-
unconscious experience?
No, I don't. And thank you for the segue.
Well,
So-
he did open a door. He did have
Okay.
a key.
Okay,
you know what I
so
mean?
okay,
She
I'm
just
talking about
kind of
her.
she
Thank
got
you.
pulled.
God.
She got pulled into it. You know
you
what I
guys are illustrating my
You
point
mean to tell
brilliantly.
me that
Okay.
you cooked your grits in
Okay, exactly. Right. So here I see, how many gates do you see? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What about that one and that one? Right. Okay. So we see all these gates here, and we know that Ezra opened the
mean?
portal,
Here.
right? Ezra opened the portal and gave him access to all those gates, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he opened the world between world. He connected all of the pathways by opening the
Yeah.
gate, and so all of the gates are open. Now
Mhm.
we look at this scene here with Anakin and Ahsoka in the same world between worlds, right?
Is it though?
Yes. And so if you look at it, you can even kind of, if you really want to go illustration by illustration, I'm sure you could find this illustration and match it to that illustration, and they will be almost identical, right? Because Dave's that kind of nerd, right?
Or because she's been there before. This is
So-
all like a subconscious dream and she's seeing it.
That's what everybody
I-
comes to believe.
I wouldn't
but-
say it's because she's been there before. If anything, it's because she has the daughter within her already. But that's another thing.
Yeah, she got that owl
Or-
following her around and shit. We didn't see the owl in the show, right? The owl was not there.
yeah, we
Yeah, we
saw
did.
Morai at the end on Peridia.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
When it takes the rest of the grit cooking world. No.
So we get to this point with Anakin. Now, I was on your guys's wavelength, about a dream, about this being more of her in her mind, living in, you know, kind of like a live or die situation within yourself. Do I want to fight or do I want to just die? And I was kind of on board with you guys until I rewatched the show and I saw Anakin's Force Ghost in the last scene. And then I was like, cool, this wasn't a dream. Anakin is literally watching her every moment in his afterlife, right? And then it gets me back to this scene, and I watched it again. And, you know, everybody's like, did she fall into the world between worlds? Is it a dream? No. Anakin didn't need a portal to watch her because technically he is the father in his afterlife, right? He has all the power in this world. And he shows that when he makes Ahsoka go through these different portions of her life, even stuff he had never seen, right? Because he's leading her on this path and he's already seen it because he has access to all stories of time and space. So when he sees her getting her ass beat by Balin's weak ass skull, which he knew in the Jedi Temple, he snatched her out of the world into the world between worlds without an open gate. The same way Ezra did, but Ezra needed a gate. Ezra needed the portal that was open to watch and grab her. But Anakin didn't need that. Anakin has the power to see anybody at any time because he is basically the Mortis God. He is the father at this point in this world. And when he is in this world, he doesn't need a portal to see what's happening. He just has to focus. And he saw Ahsoka lose, about to fall to her death, the same way Vader was going to strike her down and Ezra pulled her out at the last moment. Anakin did the same thing because he needed to know, is this your time or not?
She already fell.
You know,
right.
But the flaw there, I think, is he didn't accept the role as the father, did he?
No, but once he accepted the light, once he accepted the light, he's basically becomes a Force ghost, right?
Right.
But the difference between him and Kenobi and him and any of the other Force ghosts is he was chosen. He was shown to have the power.
So you think just by default he fell into this position?
So that's the thing. Misunderstood the prophecy could have been, and indeed it was. Anakin did bring balance to the Force, but that's not what the prophecy was saying. He was meant to bring balance between the daughter and the son, in my opinion, or the balance between the light and the dark now, which is why the embodiment of the daughter that lives within Ahsoka is vital to him.
So you think that Balin is going to become the son?
And the father within the Force.
No, I think Balin is just going to be Balin is just the fool that's going to release the genie.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Balin is just the fool that is drawn to a power that is going to create chaos because he no longer cares. He's on a suicide march anyway.
What does he think he's going for, though? That's what
Abeloth.
He knows he's going for Abeloth.
Well, he knows.
He tells us what he thinks he's doing is stopping the cycle.
Yes.
So he is trying to stop the cycle of light side, darkness rises, and light to meet it. And they say in the Clone Wars Mortis episodes essentially that the mother was helping the father keep order between the two. And then what happens is she absorbs a bunch of energy from all of the Force nexuses, and that drives her insane.
Well, she also bathed in the pools of knowledge,
right?
And these were forbidden.
The two nexuses that they bring up are the specific ones.
She was actually a servant to the Mortis gods. That in her initial life before she became immortal, she was a servant to the Father, the Son, and the Daughter. And when she bathed in the pool and whatever else she did, I can't remember the exact thing. She became a god, but an evil god that they imprisoned.
Or corrupted her.
Or it corrupted her.
And she did that on her own. It wasn't something that they like. The son is the dark side, the daughter is the light, the father is the order, and Abeloth assisted him in keeping that order.
She wanted to be immortal with them. That's what was going on. Is she was immortal that was helping and that was a servant to the Mortis gods. She was getting older, realizing that she was mortal, trying to find a way to join them in immortality. She finds the pool of knowledge. She finds the forbidden fruit, whatever it is. It gets embodied with this evil, and then they have to imprison her. Now, the reason that, back to Balin, real quick, The reason Balin knows about this is because he, after the Jedi Temple fell, went into the archives because he talks about Peridia. He talks about it being a legend, a folk tale from the Jedi Council or from when he was a child.
Stories he was told.
He goes into the archives and talks about Anakin and Ahsoka, and he talks about being in the Jedi archives. He knows a lot about things that normal Jedi wouldn't have known about. And so he knows about Abeloth. He wants to get to Peridia. Like he knows every step of the way. He's like, just wait, Padawan, we'll get there. What are we heading towards, Master? Don't we want this power? Their power is fleeting. We're heading towards real power. And the thing that got me about him, he said something to Shin when they were talking about Ezra. She said, you don't know Ezra Bridger? And he says, no, he's a Boken Jedi that was trained out in the wild by a Jedi that survived Order 66, basically. And she's like, oh, like me. And he says, no, I trained you to be something completely different and more. Right. And so that tells me that he's been preparing her to embody Abeloth from the time he found her.
I don't know about that one.
But hold on. But so this
They
is
split
where
up?
this is falling apart for me.
Really?
'Cause
Right now,
if Abeloth is on Peridia, right? We met the Mortis gods on the
Mortis.
planet. Yes, that was not in Peridia.
that was not a planet.
No, it was
Pocket universe type of thing.
It's a pocket
Essentially.
of subspace, basically.
But the reason that
But where was
I believe
Anakin
that
when
they
that happened?
resided in Peridia, in my opinion, based on what we know now.
Mm.
And we know from what the Clone Wars say that basically the father or the daughter and the son became kind of chaos within the universe at one point, which is why the father removed them from the equation and put them in this pocket universe. But
Skynet.
Let him
gets
come back. He's
again.
back. Go.
He's coming back.
No, you're back. You're back. Go.
part of the thing is he was going to die at some point, so he wanted Anakin to replace him. And I think that even though Anakin didn't choose to do that as his time before he became Vader, that his Force Ghost was still chosen and able to inherit that role.
Well,
But to JBM's point, like, at what point did Anakin learn how to become a Force
it
Ghost?
says
Right.
it in one of the books, I think, or some bullshit.
novelization,
5
Yeah.
seconds right after
in the novelization of Return of the Jedi, as he's dying, as Luke is talking to
Vader.
him and tell your sister, in those moments before he's dying, Obi-Wan's Force Ghost comes to him and tells him, Anakin, basically, welcome back to the light. If you join me, here's how you have to do this, and you don't have time to think. And so it's literally brief moments before he passes that Obi-Wan shows him his last lesson as master and apprentice.
Isn't
Right.
that what Qui-Gon did for Obi-Wan also? Wasn't that
Correct.
in one of the books?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why they brought Qui-Gon back at the end of Kenobi, because from then on he's learning from Qui-Gon the way that Yoda was learning from Qui-Gon, because Qui-Gon had the knowledge from the Wills on how to become immortal, right? How to be so in tune with the Force that you're one with it. It's basically the gist. And that's why
So-
people had a big problem with it.
Yeah.
I think the book is JB. I think the book is. I think it's the actual novelization of Return of the Jedi, because they've started doing these novelizations where they tell you the thoughts of the character during an event, and during these moments it shows. I think it's the novelization of Return of the Jedi. But I'm not sure.
Well,
So-
I hope somebody shows up when I'm done.
Yeah.
No.
I have a crazy
can see-
idea. that this wouldn't be the first time that I'm one of these panels that I've come up with a crazy theory that I'm just inevitably going to be wrong. But before we leave the Abeloth topic, and this just came to me while we were all talking, I agree with you. I believe Shin is being prepped to be Abeloth's vessel. But what if Abeloth takes Ahsoka instead?
Ooh.
I think I'm with you.
And then we can even get, let's just take it into crazy realm. We get Abeloth versus Anakin in the World Between Worlds, because Abeloth wants that power to be able to alter shit. Like, she knew about this stuff. She bathed in the pool of knowledge. She knows all this stuff. I am sure she's aware of the world between worlds, much like the father. And now Anakin is technically the father. I think we get an Ahsoka / Abeloth versus Anakin showdown in some form.
In the space that I could see them doing it, it seems more likely that it will be, if it's that way, it'll be Sabine. Because it's gotta
I can see that.
right, because the daughter is already in Ahsoka, so she's already got a spirit, so to speak, in her, right?
Yeah.
The daughter sacrificed herself for Ahsoka. She's already got a Force God essence within her, so I could see it being kind of like this is going to be a bad example, but the smoke in, like, have you ever watched Supernatural?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, you
Yeah,
know how the
yeah.
demon smoke will like come out like "Bah!" and then it'll find another vessel. I could see it trying to hit Ahsoka, but then it can't get to her, so it gets Sabine.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood you. I thought you were saying like like Abeloth would take on Sabine. I'm like, Sabine would get wrecked.
No, I'm saying would take her as the
take
vessel because
Sabine.
there's so much hate, there's so much
Essentially,
anger.
Ahsoka is being protected by the daughter currently.
Yeah,
That's what
That's
I
why
feel.
Morai is following.
Correct.
Yeah.
Especially
I like that.
here, right? Like in Peridia, Morai being around is more important than ever because she's in a place where she's in the most danger, right?
Yo, so something else that just came to my mind while we're all sitting here talking about this is Balin Skoll is standing on the father's hand, right? Pointing out towards the thing. And it is the son, guaranteed, like to the other side.
Yep.
What if eventually we get a flashback and it's not the daughter, it's the mother? It's a completely different actress that we don't know, but we get introduced to her when we meet the mother, and then we see flashbacks of Peridia at its prime, and it's actually the mother's statue. And when Abeloth and all the shit goes to shit, that's why she destroys the old image of herself.
Yeah, I mean the
I'm just saying.
thing that's going to be the most interesting is
It's
how we get, to that moment, right? Because I don't think we're really going to see much of the other galaxy in the second season of Ahsoka, maybe towards the end.
Oh, I think we're
I
gonna
don't
see
think
a
so.
lot of both.
I thought that I would think that we'd see more, but yeah.
But it seems like we're going to have to all of these people
Wait.
that are on Peridia are going to meet.
Wait, you don't think we're gonna see? Wait, you don't think we're gonna see much of the normal galaxy that we're used?
I mean,
we're
we're
used to, or the Peridia, where Peridia is.
No, I mean we're going to see a lot of Peridia. I
Okay,
think.
okay,
And if we
Because
do, I
the
mean
stuff
it's
is
the
there.
Thrawn, it's the Dathomirians, it's the Thrawn stuff. I don't know how much of the. I mean,
Listen,
know.
if the Dathomir and the Thrawn shit doesn't hit and link up with goddamn Cal Kestis, I'm out. I
don't think that's happening.
I don't care about Thrawn. I don't care about Dathomir anymore. They're going
You
there.
might as well book your
I
ticket
didn't-
now. That's not happening.
I mean, they're technically they're not
They're
there,
there.
right? Like Mirren's
Guys
gone.
out.
Mirren's
they
gone
go
from
back
Dathomir.
Yeah, Miriam's
They're
not there.
there now, as far as we know. The second
I
game
think that
Sorry.
they're.
and they're
I
just-
think
I
no,
missed
I think,
stuff.
I'm
What
Ricky
are we?
Bobby. If you don't chew,
Matt Cave Gaming.
then you.
you ain't first or last. I think
Yeah,
that
right.
they're only worried to find that planet or trying to get into that. What was that name of that planet in the second game that they were trying to get into? The big old.
Oh,
With
I
the
know
with
what
the
you're talking
lightning going to it.
Yeah.
What was the crap?
What you
Remember
talking
the
about?
hybrid? Yeah. Well, no, not the Zepho planet. The planet that was hidden within that
In the
big
sequel,
gaseous thing.
in Survivor.
Talonir.
Yeah.
Talanar.
Tellanir.
Yeah,
which
man.
might end
Got
up being
that.
the past that we aren't sure about yet. Yeah.
Well, and look, so aside from the Ahsoka show, the fact that so we get, just to go back to the connectivity of all of this,
Mhm.
the fact that we see and hear the word "the path" in another form, and not just the Kenobi show,
Yeah.
but we hear
That's
it
cool.
in Tales of the Jedi with Asajj.
Empire or whatever it is.
that again, those are stories that I think we're going to continue on, right? Sidebar, JB. I think everybody's excited for the mall show. I think everybody's excited that Sam Witwer is back and telling stories and being involved in the storytelling. I'm hoping that we get to see the time between the end of Rebels, or I'm sorry, the end of Clone Wars, and where we see him in Rebels. If we don't see like the beginning of him flying away to his syndicate from Clone Wars and then getting stranded on
Malachor, is it? Yeah.
I want to. Those are the two things
You
I
better
kind of
keep that.
really want to see at the bookends. Everything in the middle is all fair game to me. I don't really care. It's going to be awesome.
I want him to fight Vader at some point,
Yep.
just selfishly, because
Oh,
at one point when we see him in Rebels, he literally like can sense Vader's coming, and he knows. Like the rest of them can sense something's coming, but like he knows who's coming, and
Well,
it's like,
and he is terrified.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
he know.
oh yeah,
he
he's
is-
like, I need him out of here before that.
I cannot
happens."
handle. I cannot handle him on my own.
No,
The one they call Vader is coming.
Yeah, I want
I
that
think
part.
His
I think
dogs.
we're gonna get more than one season of this because if you want to see all of that, I mean that's pretty much the only way
Please.
that
Well,
we're
this,
gonna get it.
that's a huge time frame to cover
Yeah,
with that.
yeah.
Because even think about just the little tease we get of him in Solo and
Yeah.
all the stuff he's been doing with the crime syndicate stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole story in
Well,
itself.
and
Easily 4 seasons.
And what a
worth of
what a
content.
stroke of brilliance by
Yeah.
Dave Filoni to include Dryden Voss and the Syndicate in the last episode of the Clone Wars.
Mm.
Right? What a tie-in. What a brilliant tie-in, and what a great way to pay homage to a movie that got so much shit, but I feel like was so good. Even though I know I'm the outlier in that statement.
I like Solo.
I loved Solo.
I thought
I
it
like
was such
Solo.
a fun movie.
I saw a fun article the other day that said that Solo is Spaceballs. So if you compare the two movies,
Kinda
and
is,
plots of
yeah.
the movies, and
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, actually.
kind of is.
Yeah.
Well, and for me, the best thing about the whole movie is the way
Damn it,
he
Scotty!
makes-
Why'd you gotta put that on my
You know,
head?
why did? Oh, how
Wait.
come he can speak? How come he can speak Wookiee? And
Wait, hold. You know, I will say I'm not sure I really want a Lando movie or show.
no,
I mean,
think
it's something in
That's
development,
not
though,
alive.
right?
I think that got
Development hell.
scrapped.
Did it get
Didn't
that
it?
scrapped?
I think it's scrapped. I
I
think
think
that
it
and
did.
droids.
No,
got
I think it's
scrapped.
That's
still
chilling
alive.
with Gambit and Deadpool and shit.
it's still alive because Lando is Childish Gambino, and he's actually like
Yeah, I don't think
trying
that's
to work
dead,
on
man.
it.
don't
I
think that's
promise you,
dead.
it's still alive.
I think they're
It is?
still trying to figure it out, but I don't think they can figure out.
I don't
a real
know if they'll
story.
make it.
I don't think they can figure out a real
That's
story, man. I think that's that's the hard part of that character is he's
Yeah.
always been a side character. He's
Mm.
never.
I love
been,
that dude, but I don't think I like him that much as Lando.
I mean,
It's
that's-
totally different than like,
honestly, look, Solo did a couple things that I wasn't keen on, but I think whatever. I think he played a great young Lando. I just don't think there's enough legs behind that character to make its own movie, its own show. I think he's always going to be a Chewbacca. You're never going to make a Chewbacca movie,
well,
right?
he was like,
The holiday
I mean,
special.
No, I mean like a
Oh,
feature
God.
film, not a special. Like I mean a feature film, like this guy.
Yeah,
This guy could have his own show.
I mean,
Bill-
like,
Billy
the
Ray
last
was
news
like,
we
"I'm
got
gonna
about
stab
it,
you right in the back, but I still want to be your best friend.
we last
and
got
then,
news
like-
in September about it, so I don't know. September of 2024.
Really?
Yeah,
I mean, huh?
That's why I said it's not really. I don't know if
It's
it's,
not dead.
necessarily
it's not dead.
dead.
I just think they're having a hard time writing.
He's trying to make a
think-
fun movie, is what he says he's trying to do.
Yeah,
He says
You
Star
gotta
Wars
do
is
it-
too
you gotta
serious.
keep it way early, like
Yeah.
because I just can't connect them to the other dude. It's hard.
I mean, billionaire playboy philanthropist. Like, what are you gonna do with it?
Something I'll mention real quick since we touched on it very
I said
briefly.
Billy
Very
Mays.
sidetrack right here, real quick, and then we'll get right back on target. But just in case anyone out there, if anyone's dream, oh my god,
I haven't found shit.
so iconic. But if anyone was ever dreaming of having a holiday special video game, I just want everyone to know that a fan made that a reality, and they remixed the Super Star Wars games into the holiday special. I'm not kidding.
That's awesome.
It's out there. Go play it. It's
So
fantastic.
whenever Matt Cave talks, I can't take a drink of my scotch. That's basically what
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna be able to drink much of that tonight. I think
Oh, this is
Scotch.
Almost.
Just wanted to point that up. Now we can go back to our regular schedule.
Okay,
program.
I do want to touch on one thing that I saw that happen. I haven't watched this yet, so I don't know if anybody else has. I haven't put this on yet. Scotty might be mad at me for putting it on, but I feel like we have to do it. I haven't seen this interview yet.
Oh no,
I watched this.
I know. I was joking. I was trying to get you teed up like I was going to put up the Amandla video, but I'm not.
Sorry, I got a dip. So, but
Oh, Q, thank you for joining us, dude. It was
Yeah,
so
man.
good to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys too. Enjoy that interview.
Appreciate it, brother. Be safe.
All right, take care.
So this is the big. Before we go into this, real quick, the big hippity hop is that Mark Hamill supposedly came out and said he's not playing Mark Hamill anymore. I don't know if that's true. I'm looking at what's that?
He hasn't been himself lately.
I mean, he's not playing Luke Skywalker anymore. Oh, I mean, he did play in that one movie as himself.
He did.
Maybe he's
He
not
did.
doing it anymore. But yeah, he's not playing Luke Skywalker anymore. That was the rumor. Those were the headlines that I saw all over Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and so I wanted to watch it for the first time with you guys. If everybody's seen this and I'm the only one that hasn't seen this, then sorry, I'm behind the times. But I was trying to wait for everybody.
So our time is short. I know you've got to run, and I appreciate all your time. You've said recently that you're done with Star Wars. Is that safe to say?
Well,
in
I don't
terms of-
want to make a big pronouncement like this is my decision. I'm just saying that it really felt like a conclusion. My character was given complete closure. I died, ironically, by overdosing on the Force, I might point out. But, that seemed to be, and once the Skywalker trilogy was over, it was a whole new era for them. George gave them this amazing canvas, the entire galaxy. They can do westerns, mysteries, comedies, whodunits, anything within that realm of the Star Wars. And they're doing so well. I love Rogue One, Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett. I just think it's time. I had my time. I'm really appreciative, but I'm really looking to the future for all these new projects. But I do know when I mention anything about the space movies, it gets extra scrutiny as opposed to me talking about anything else. And I said that, and then I saw headlines, Mark Hamill quit Star Wars. Well, let me say, they haven't asked me. It's not like they said, please come back.
And Luke died. There's that too. as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. I mean, come on. How much can you do with a Force Ghost? I'd like to see a movie set all in the Force Ghost realm. I could have conversation with Alec Guinness and all
Now you're giving him ideas.
from your lips to God's ears.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the
Yeah, so he's not saying he's done. He's just
You should have let him keep going. He's just about to talk to us about spay and neutering our pets.
so that's my line later. Stop trying to steal my line.
So did you guys see the new trailer for the movie that he's going to be in called The Long Walk?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's based on a Stephen King. Yeah.
I can't wait.
So have you guys heard that Spaceballs 2 is coming?
I've heard. I didn't.
Return of the Schwartz. I don't know if that's actually the title, but if it's not, they're gonna fuck it up.
Wait, you haven't seen that teaser yet?
No, it's
either?
the Schwartz Awakens.
It's the Schwartz Awakens. Is that what it
Yes.
is? Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure which title they
Put it
were.
up.
spoofing.
Is that actually what they're calling it?
Yes,
I think
the
so.
Schwartz Awakens.
I'm pretty sure. They're basing it off of the sequel trilogy, I think, too. So
Yeah.
Genius.
great. Oh yeah. Like I said, the jokes write themselves.
Yeah.
Do it up. We got a teaser right.
Let's see if I can.
Oh, Obsession.
I
If you
got it.
haven't
I got
seen
it. Just
this,
share
this
it.
is
I put it
hilarious.
100%.
If you haven't seen the teaser.
Oh, get ready to read.
I
This
try
is your
not
time.
to watch teasers and stuff because I feel like they ruin it for us. But
No,
whatever.
this is
No,
just
as long
me.
as we're I
You're
got it
gonna
right
laugh
here.
your ass
No,
off.
you don't
Yeah,
need
I
subtitles.
presented it
Trust
for
me. Just full screen it and get ready to read.
Oh, does yours have the?
Ah,
Star
shit, I gotta
Wars?
read.
Yeah,
We're cooked.
this is the
I
read.
didn't know I had to read.
Oh, you guys think- My favorite part is Lone Star's son. His name.
two dudes. This is good.
36.
We're two different.
DCU attempt number 2. A TV series remaking the same 8 Harry Potter movies.
Which is kind of an alien movie.
And Oppenheimer. Until now.
Wait all the way to the end. Wait all the way.
After 40 years, we asked, what do the fans
He's coming
want?
back too.
But instead, we're making this movie. May
So
the
he'll be-
Schwartz be with you.
He'll be 100 years when they start filming.
Gangster.
When they start filming. He's 80. He's 98 now.
He is immortal.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I hope they're filming his shit first.
Did you
Like, hurry
did
up.
you
Not
hear
to be
the
confused with
confirmed
the other
cast?
6 Predator movies that are not also alien movies.
Yeah, no, it's like-
That was
I
my
was-
favorite
They
part.
got no. Did you see the cast yet?
the cast confirmed.
Bill Pullman's son,
Son.
Bob. He's gonna be in it, not as Lone Star, but Starburst.
Oh my god.
It's fucking awesome.
But we've got returning cast.
I haven't heard any of
back. Daphne, I forget her last name.
Oh, wow.
But Princess Vespa.
Hell
Obviously Mel
Rick
Brooks
Moranis.
and Rick Moranis confirmed.
This is
That's
the number
crazy.
one movie that pisses off my wife more than any.
Oh, really?
I put this on and like I got her into Star Wars. She loves it. I put this on and my kids are even like, what the hell is it? Like, don't say
Oh
it.
yeah, my
But-
kids.
She doesn't yell at them when they swear at this movie. Like, what the fuck is this? And I
She
love
gets
it.
it.
So the casting that people are upset about, and I don't honestly know why, because I don't know what the deal is with them. I only know the guy from a couple of things with Disney, but Josh Gad, who's also like co-producing the film, is Barf Jr.
But he's now my hero because he's like probably helping make this movie.
Well, yeah, he's definitely helping make this movie. Now, apparently, people hate this guy, and I don't know why. I don't follow any of that, so
He's
I
the
have no idea
snowman
why.
in Frozen.
He's the snowman in Frozen. Yeah, in
Yeah,
Frozen.
how do you hate that guy?
He's in
Olaf?
Pixels with
How do
Adam
you hate
Sandler.
Olaf?
He's
I hate that
hilarious.
guy.
No reason to hate this guy whatsoever.
I don't know. He was
Barely in
awesome in
any movie.
Pixels. But so people are concerned with that, but he's Barf Jr. I forget who's cast as the next Dot Matrix, the droid, because obviously you can't have what's her name who passed? That was in
Joan
the
Rivers.
Yeah, Joan Rivers. So those two characters are replaced. Barf and Dot Matrix are now Barf Jr. and Dot whatever.
Oh damn! I didn't even think about you.
Mm.
That's messed up.
Guys, I checked the internet. We're good. It's just Kanye West fans. We're fine. Nothing to worry about here. Nothing to worry about. Spaceballs 2 still clear. Josh Gad still good.
Josh Gad's still all right. Good. But
Wow.
man, yeah. I'm excited.
I miss the old Kanye.
I miss the old Kanye. Yeah.
I'm hyped, bro. Give me 2 years. Like, can't get here
Mhm.
quick enough.
I mean, my question is like, where, is he gonna make it?
Shoot
Stop.
his shit first.
Stop. Put your
Very
hand
top
out.
priority.
Yeah.
You knock on wood.
Or he's already had them creating the AI version.
Yeah, he's been
of
Oh,
feeding the bot.
absolutely.
He's been feeding
Yeah.
the bot.
Kanye, probably.
Mhm.
Kanye definitely.
They got him mic'd up, and the mic is just recording his voice right now.
Matter of fact, Mel Brooks is like, I'm not doing anything. AI, all of me. Like, here
Yeah.
you go.
Yep. He's phoning it in.
He literally walked around on his knees that whole first movie.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
Actually,
he's not doing that.
I mean, he's so
He's
old
also-
now. They don't have to. He just that's the size of
Yeah,
him.
that's
He's
the-
just
Oh,
he
he's-
is yogurt at this point.
He's got 2 roles though, because he's the president too.
Yeah, because the president survived, landed on the Planet of the Apes.
Oh my god! Oh wow! I wasn't even thinking I was just thinking,
That's
like,
the
how do
thing.
they bring these guys back?
We have to see how they escape the Planet of the Apes.
Oh my god! This is so awesome!
Wait, what do you think? What do you
They
think
can
if
parody
they
Planet of the Apes and the. Oh my god! This is gonna be amazing.
they're bringing Mel Brooks in, right? And movie studios have all this new technology, right? What if they just hook up one of these to him? Did you guys see this?
Oh yeah.
Yes, dude, that would be even
Dude.
better anyway.
This thing, they use this thing on him to
That way they can wheel him
Film-
around.
Well, they filmed fight scenes with him and his twin in the movie, and they used this to be able to show his face throughout 50% of the fight scenes while he's fighting against himself. But yeah, dude, just rig that to Mel Brooks. You can do it from home.
I'm sad that this also goes against your the sequels will be good theory, because this movie is gonna crucify those sequels. You know it.
That's okay.
Honestly, though, I think it's going to bring viewership to the sequels.
Maybe
Because
Or-
people are going to be like,
That's
what
what I'm
are they
saying.
making fun of?
That's
you
what
know?
I'm saying.
I'm expecting this movie
Yeah.
to lose money, and I don't care.
No.
No,
No
I think
shot. There's no
I think
shot
Everybody,
this movie
everybody,
loses money.
generationally, everybody will see this.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed that they didn't stick with like what they said in the original movie, like Spaceballs 2, The Hunt for More Money. Whatever.
You know what?
You know
bet
that'll be a
there's gonna
joke. You know that'll be a
in
joke.
it. Yeah, there'll be a joke
They're
in
gonna be
it
all the
that-
fourth
that
walls.
does it.
Yeah.
But he was literally wearing Spaceballs, the sweatshirt. I mean, now I have to get that.
Mhm.
It's like he already sold me merch.
Yeah, they're gonna make so much money on that.
You
on
almost
that.
got me. I did it again. I took a swig right as you were about to talk. It's fucking went over his screen.
Yeah.
Steve, did you just change hoodies? You went from
No.
dark
No.
black to Yoda?
No, it's the same
Maybe
hoodie.
maybe your internet's just actually working now. I can see the color.
You gave him HDR.
No, never mind.
Oh, look what you did to him.
Definitely not.
Look what
Definitely
you did.
not.
Look what you did. Scotty's in the outer
Definitely
rim.
not.
Look what you did.
We lost.
You-
We lose
you
Sheev, we
destroyed
lose
us all.
Scotty, we just
Yo, I love these streams so much.
I know you do. That's why we invite you, because you're a fucking maniac.
Straight up.
It's so
We get it.
Oh,
What else is going on? Yeah, there's no games coming out right now, right? So we just finished the Fortnite month. Dune's out. Scotty's playing Dune like a crazy person.
Yeah,
I don't know
man.
how the
What do you mean?
GTA is
He's not
going.
playing Dune?
I'm playing Dune, but I'm playing Dune.
Yeah, Scotty's been playing Dune.
We're doing in
Oh,
this Dune.
Just I actually made a vow to myself, like middle of the stream. I might get called.
How
out
you
anymore.
doing?
Stop.
How you doing?
How you doing, eh?
How you doing?
Why
Yo.
don't they make a Dune video game?
And let's
Bro.
see. And then
What
yeah,
were we just
what
talking
planet
about?
are you on, bro?
No, like
It's
not-
literally playing behind.
It's literally playing on his screen behind him.
no, like the movie Dune, the book, that shit.
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Do you know the story of this? Actually, do you guys know the story?
Yeah.
This
Is that really
story
what that is?
it's like a fever dream of Paul Atreides. So he's
Mm.
picturing a universe with no Kwisatz Haderach, no Lessin Al Gaib. What they see is you, they say. So it's just like Arrakis, where Paul Atreides never existed, and basically we're looking for the Fremen. So it's still
Why do
going
we
down
even
this
talk
whole
about
same
Dune?
storyline. It's a really good game
Why don't we talk about Dune ever?
because we talk about Star
Um,
Wars. Get over it.
Because Star
Where
Wars
does
is
Star Wars
better.
come from?
Because Dune
No,
is
it doesn't necessarily all come from Dune. Only a little bit.
It came from the Lord George Lucas.
Doesn't that whole thing take place on
yeah.
Tatooine?
listen,
Oh,
man.
Yes, come on.
What's
All of
again?
this technically came from the Anunnaki. Like, if you really want to
Listen,
get technical about
Tatooine
it, like,
had oceans. Arrakis had oceans. It's all the same. Okay.
Literally, Skynet didn't want me to hear that. It
Identical.
just froze me. again.
identical,
Brought it back. Brought it right back
but
around.
right back. So Scotty, is the GTA still going on? Is the city on, or are you just on the?
Oh,
Dune
the
run?
city's on all the time and it's constantly updating. So we can go back and do that at any time. But when I go back, I'm gonna there'll be different arcs. Probably a racing arc, if I'm being honest. Because
I'm
I've
really
never
tempted.
actually learned how to race in GTA ever. So 0 hours of good racing. I think it'd be fun to. The hardest part about racing in this stuff is that on the modded servers, they're constantly balancing every fucking car, every acceleration, the brakes, the yada yada. So it's like once they work out that balance, I'm in. But the racing scene's not really there right now, and Dune is awesome. So
I love that Obsession switched his fucking stop cameras
to Neil
halfway through.
Just Neil, dude.
Neil in a bath.
That was just Neil in a bubble bath.
That's
Nothing to
it.
see
Neil,
here.
and Neil in a bubble bath looking like he's getting pleasured, bro. It's not just like
Oh,
Sheesh.
Neil.
Sheesh.
like
my
who's
mind's eye.
who can't take this kid anywhere. Okay,
Let's
so
play Fortnite for the next like 6 hours on stream. It's good. Really good.
well, I just played Call of Duty for the first time in months, and I was just wrecking house. So that was great. We did a bunch of Fortnite gaming over the course of May. That was fun. Got some skins. Spent too much money on that shit because I don't like spending money on video games, but I did.
I heard
'cause
the Ahsoka 2 finale is actually just going to be a Fortnite event.
I mean, it might as well be because I missed it. I missed the Star Destroyer event for fuck's sake.
gotta log into Fortnite just to watch the finale now.
Just
God
just
damn.
what? Just like you watched the 2 episodes early on Fortnite.
My PS5 is just like a decoration at my desk. Right now.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
So long.
I use mine all the time. What I was saying is we should do like an Among Us stream.
Oh yeah, you said it last time.
Oh,
Never
that'd
I've
be
been saying
fun.
get
like
it
just
together. Organize.
get everybody on there, get everybody on Among Us and
That would be fun
have
stuff.
one person have one person streaming or have one person streaming but everybody's in and showing gameplay and then that person is just able to call the action as we're all
Yeah, because we can't look at like what we're.
that's what I'm saying. You
Because
can't
we
look
gotta
at
lie
everybody's
to each other. Like,
oh hell yeah. Like we
hardcore.
did in Ghostbusters.
Oh,
When I had you
I
guys
still am not over the. You fooled us.
I love that game. We can go back and play
Can't
that.
trust
We
this
have to go
guy.
back to that.
yeah,
Any prop
yeah, that
lines
was
for any
fun.
of that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's the kind of stuff. I mean, I hear Mario Kart World is like a 50-50 right now. I hear people are liking it, but then there's not a lot to do outside of the open world.
You know what it is? It's exactly well, it's actually more than what Mario Kart 8 was when it was released, but Mario Kart 8 expanded, and the same thing's going to happen with this. So people just aren't patient. I think it's super fun. I'm driving around the open world and unlocking new skins and all this stuff, and you get new racers and equipment and all kinds.
Yeah,
of
I
stuff.
saw a video of a guy following a car that was
you
throwing out coins, and he literally followed that car for like 6 hours to unlock every skin.
Oh,
Right,
jeez.
like that's all he did is like follow the coin car until he unlocked all the skins. I was
Wow.
like, wow,
pretty
dude,
funny.
that's dedication.
Kind of like
right
kind of
there.
like setting your controller down at the right angle so
Yeah,
the
just
guy just hits the
hit the
thing and the
button.
gold over him.
I mean, I did that shit. You know, it worked.
Guilty.
I got a bunch of XP out of it.
Guilty.
Guilty.
I'm just
Especially with
so-
these.
I had to
especially
get the
with these-
Palpatine skin somehow.
especially with these PlayStation Edge controllers. Like these things, they need to still like make these because they're the best. So I'm just saying.
Ooh, the
I
new
bought the
Pro
second
controller.
Switch for my house like 3 months ago, so I'm just hoping that my kids don't hear about Switch 2 for another couple of years.
Just keep them in the dark about it.
I'm trying to like just make it to the phase where my son's more of the gamer. And he's 6. Just trying to make it to where he wants like a PS6. So
There you
that's
go.
all I'm trying
Yeah.
to get to. Yeah.
He'll discover this.
I love
stuff.
that Mrs. Matt Cave started her own account that goes on and trolls Mr. Matt Cave.
Oh my
So,
god,
like,
she's actually.
it's my favorite. This is probably my favorite
That's
marriage
awesome.
in all of
All right,
YouTube.
you know what? Then I have to take this one because I don't know if she's just going to suddenly go to bed. I do have to throw a huge thank you out to Mrs. Matt Cave because tonight she officially became subscriber number 25,000. It happened. We recorded it. It happened.
It actually happened.
It's not on the
But
internet.
Yeah, you gotta play it
Gotta
again.
be
You gotta
true.
play it again now.
Hold on,
Look.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Yeah, we're doing it. Yeah, yeah.
I know what you're looking for.
Oh, I hope she's here still. No, the other one. No, the other one.
Which one?
The Matt Cave clip. Quick.
Oh, the Matt Cave clip. Yeah, yeah.
I'm Ricky Bobby. Dude. If you don't chew
Matt Cave Gaming.
then you.
I got that shit like ready to go now.
I love that. yeah.
So
it's
yeah,
literally
big,
it's saved in a folder because we used to do that shit every stream we did live. When you had
well,
like 500 subscribers, we're like fucking subscribe.
yeah, I mean we've seen this journey pretty much from the beginning, which is what this
Pretty
is
incredible.
about. You know, we've watched Matt go from like 50 subscribers to now 25,000, which I think is, the most of any current guest that comes on this show ever. So yeah, dude, big shout out to the dedication and the hard work you put in the last couple years.
Yeah, you owe us lunch.
I really do. I owe you lunch, beers, all kinds. It's crazy, man. I can't believe it. It just blows my mind. But I just like it doesn't happen without like stuff like this. Like, it really is like kind of a big team effort.
Well, I mean, but that's what
and
it's
you're
about.
not wrong though. When Obsession said that my wife finally made a YouTube account for the sake of messing with me, that's exactly the reason.
Oh yeah, if you come back during the old days of us streaming together, you can hear her berating him in the background about how much he sucks at the game. Way to go, dummy! Like she'll throw the stone. So it's great to see that she's come on here and is supporting. Not to mention being the 25,000 subscriber is a big deal because you're a quarter of the way to a play button. 25,000 subscribers is a milestone that I think any of us would like to have in our pocket. So that's great. To the next, that's amazing that we've been along for this journey for the first 25,000. Now let's hopefully see you in the next year or two reaching maybe 100,000 subscribers, getting you a silver play button and putting you on a larger map, dude. I mean, I think that there's a huge opportunity for you to do so. So just keep doing what you're doing.
The cool thing is like Matt's not like full of himself. He rolls in here and we're just making cracking jokes. But then we get behind the stage and he's like, "Listen, you fucking minion."
Yeah. Once we're offline, I strut off camera and I'm just
I'll show up to the stream whenever I want to show up. I have 25,000. Many years from now, there'll be Twitter DMs exposed on.
Yeah, that's it. All comes out and
it'll be our
Matt Cave
Discord.
left Twitter, we can get away with that chat. So come bring all the shit
Yeah,
to the
I'm not on
DMs
it,
in my
so yeah,
Twitter,
go
and
for it.
I'll expose it. Okay.
Bro, this,
No.
this stream is like fucking therapy for me. I love this place. It's just fucking
But that's what it's supposed to be for. Look, man, I mean, we're allowed to have differences of opinion. That's what this place is for. But it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be in an environment that everybody feels welcome to come in regardless of your opinions. We're not really going to shit on you. We're just going to offer different opinions.
I'm getting shit on you, but I'm like 98% not serious.
I mean, but that's the point. The point of this is to have a place to let this stuff out, right? Because everybody's so territorial, right? Everybody, draws a line and it's like, you're with me or you're with them. And I don't subscribe to that, right? I subscribe to, think what you want to think. I'm just going to try and, and try to find the other side of that story. Right. And it's a good place to start. I mean, look, we're in a place now where, this channel in particular has helped a lot of channels get where they want to be. Right. And whatever somebody needs, we try to accommodate. Sheev is going to have a new thing going on pretty soon. So we're building a new system just for them. So that something going to be new and different, away from all of this hoopla. And so, yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot more of that. We're going to try to get them started and get that channel to possibly grow like Matt's, and sky's the limit. So, yeah, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we're trying to facilitate, because it's not just about what we get, right? So
was everybody here at Nerdventure at one point?
pretty much.
So this is like
Matt's
the
muted.
coolest thing to come out of COVID, basically.
Matt's muted.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
so.
Like it's that like year and a half, 2 years is like we were just fucking bored. And this is what came out of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is initially
Match
You could put
like
it that way.
initially
Floating dollars around.
I had started watching Theory when it was still him and Mark. He's muted in here, you potato head. For some reason, he got muted here. I don't know why I don't want to unmute him.
Don't do it.
Am I yet?
Yeah.
That was good.
There
There
you are.
Yourself
you
on
are.
StreamYard.
Mute him again.
But initially, I was watching what The Rule of Two, I think, was the show at the time.
So
and-
wait a minute. So you were a Theory subscriber who found Josh through Theory?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes, I was the
That's
opposite.
That's how I.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what I
the-
did.
That's
Same.
how I
Yeah.
found Josh too.
Yeah, I
What
wasn't.
the fuck.
Yeah,
I'm the oldest.
No,
Nerd
you know what I
Venger.
did?
I was there.
yeah,
the
I
I've
think you're the
been-
oldest Nerd Venger.
I've been probably a Theory fan longer than anybody here, and
Mm.
I jumped off that ship probably a long time ago.
Yep.
Well,
Bro, dead ass the night of
Levi
the
Bond
season
did
2
nothing
finale.
wrong. Hashtag.
No, hell
I saw a
no.
watch party. And I'm like,
That's
oh,
my
shit,
boy.
I get to watch it. I was like one of those guys. And then I saw them go on Nerd Theory like a day. And I'm like, oh, this guy's cooler than that guy. I'm gonna go follow.
Yeah. So I remember Theory when he liked Star Wars. That's how far back I remember watching. I remember when
He's
he's.
been dead for 15 years.
It's been 84 years since
Am I the
Star
only
Wars
one that
Theory likes
still
Star
watches
Wars.
Theory?
Huh?
I want to
Am I
make
the only one that still watches Theory?
I would think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
So.
I
I
can't.
never really
ran
stopped.
out of his like the rabbit hole.
That's
Though. His actual theory videos.
His
I was sitting
theorying,
there
I
Oh,
watching it.
they're so good. That's why I
Yeah.
make videos and
Yeah.
want to make
Well,
good
but
videos.
that's also I was so before lives were a thing is when I was watching Theory, right? So before YouTube started letting you go live when you had to make videos, that's when I was watching his stuff because his videos were great. And then he started doing Rule of Two and during the live era, and that was kind of when I started getting into like watching more of the lives and yap. And it was great, but then what got me is I would super chat some stuff and I would do yada yada yada, and then it was like constantly like just shooting ideas down, like no conversation, like nope you're wrong, nope you're wrong, nope you're wrong, and so that started to turn me off. And then Josh came on, and Josh was honestly the best part of the show, and so that was the most fun. And then slowly but surely I just couldn't take it anymore. It just got so hateful. I just couldn't take it. So
I'll
but
never
yeah, I mean,
forget the Levi Bond incident. I watch it every year on Christmas Eve.
Oh my god!
It was a
every
really
year on Christmas Eve.
It's like early Christmas, and I do it every year.
Once in a while, I get a comment because I was on the stream or like,
Hell
a
yeah.
notification from that video. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
Yeah. She tried to stop everything from
I tried to
happening. And then it just
de-escalate,
Yeah,
happened,
you did. You
and then
did
it
try to
just happened.
de-escalate.
I had no idea you were on that.
Yeah.
I was. Yeah,
Well,
that was-
and what's more is that so oddly enough, that stream is where I met everybody. Right. So
yeah,
if you
that
go
makes
back
sense.
to the beginning of this
Everybody
channel,
talked about that shit for
I
months.
was a religious, like at that point I was watching Theory every Monday, right? Because he was on Mondays back then, right?
Yep.
And so it was like every Monday I'm like at work, got my earbuds in or whatever. And then I remember the Levi thing, and dude, I tried so hard to get into that stream. Like I tried so hard to get on that stream.
Bro said be more Qui-Gon, and Theory lost his shit.
Yes.
He lost
He
his
lost his
absolute
fucking mind.
fucking
Yeah,
mind.
Cat was so I met Sheev, I met X-Wing, I met Sawyer, I met Cat.
I forgot Sawyer was on that too.
And there was another one I can't remember. Somebody
you had
else
like
I met.
12 people going.
There were like 10 or 12 people that were coming and going, and so I'm
Then it was over.
And honestly, that was the most diverse group of Star Wars fans I've ever seen in one place, and he ruined all of it.
and so I mean that's when I reached out to X-Wing and I was like, dude, your setup makes me want to cry. Let's talk. And so I sent him a bunch of gear. Then I met Sheev that night, and so we started talking more. Yeah, dude. So it was just like
We
that
watched
Levi
the stream
Bond
over
thing.
again 5 times. It was
That
great.
Levi Bond thing was awesome.
Yeah, I gotta go back and
turned out
find
to
that.
be-
I don't really remember much of it. 'cause I was
Hey,
never
Nerd
really
Mafia's
involved.
got an entry into the Star Wars into the Switch too. So now you might be able to win one for your children.
No,
The really
that's-
sad thing about the really sad thing for me about the entire thing is that the premise of Nerd Theory was I'm inviting people in who disagree with my opinions. Let's talk about it. And then the one stream apparently where it wasn't a stream designed around that, but the kids on there taking the opportunity to run something by theory happened to be something you didn't like.
Cocaine
It's
is
like
a hell of a drug.
every week. Every week you invite
100%.
people on to argue, and then
He was
now
actually
you
supposed
don't
to have a
want to.
debate today
Blows my mind.
with with Matt
I
Walsh.
should just hang out there.
That was supposed to happen today, and then Matt Walsh had to back out, and Theory didn't find out until he was getting ready for the stream.
Hilarious.
And then he
Awesome.
checked his emails, and he found out 3 hours before that they
That's
contacted him saying like, we can't make it, we need to reschedule. But Theory's sitting there ready to go because they were going to debate Revenge of the Sith. So he ended up doing a separate stream, like watching videos and reacting to stuff. But yeah, that was supposed to be today. I was actually looking forward.
I mean, look, we're gonna start doing different stuff here. So look, as much these are the nights that I enjoy the most. I spend the most time in front of my screens with people here with you guys, aside from when we're just gaming and dicking around, right? But for the most part, these are the nights, and that's why they don't happen as often, because Matt's got 25,000 subscribers to facilitate. Me and Scotty. Scotty's always in the fucking. He's always looking for the Al Sagaib, right? So he's always somewhere.
It's an
actual
actual
like-
video game?
Sheev's out there doing what Sheev does and making moves, right? And Nerd Mafia is always game. Anytime I send a link, he's like,
Well,
right?
No, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of time, if you end up doing solo, I join late, like right after you end. And I'm like,
so like everybody's got, these nights are what I enjoy most, because this is how we started streaming. This is how the Boomer Council started. This is like when it was
I was on that a minute.
yeah, even back to the old days when it was 2 Star Wars nerds and X-Wing and myself, right? So like there's a lot of history here, but these are the things I enjoy, but we are going to change things. So
You need to pull that intro video for the Boomer Council. So it's amazing.
I'll see if I can find it. I don't even know if I have it anymore. He always
So
had it.
good.
He always had control of all of that.
You're gonna like you have to cut that after the video though.
I'd have to find it and cut it. I'm sure. You know what? I think I have 1 or 2 Boomer Councils that were on my channel.
So it was the best video. Those are my favorite videos. Back in the day.
But we are going to change things up. We are going to change format a little bit moving forward. So we're going to try some different stuff going on in the future. And then we are going to start reaching out to bigger game also. So there's going to be some I have work to do is what we're saying. I'm very motivated right now to create. There's been a lot of I mean, Sheev and I have something in the works right now, aside from his new channel, aside from that thing.
Yeah, new shit.
That's going on.
Well, I need to have a therapy session with you. That's the next thing I wanted to talk about. I mean, like, I've almost been wanting to say stuff the entire stream, just here and there. My computer's not letting me.
That's great because it's only going to last another 3 days. You have no idea. You have no idea the things that are coming. So so we're going to end this stream so we can go talk about real stuff and plans, because I don't want to air the laundry out here until you guys are ready for it. So we're going to scroll down. We're going
Little
to
skinny, isn't she?
go team.
Wow, let's go.
All right. So, all right, everybody, real quick, I want to get this out. Now, I'm gonna be a little real with you guys for a second, and let you in on some stuff. So, this last month, I say this in joking fashion. I truly believe spay and neuter your pets, help control the pet population. I truly believe tell the people in your life you love them, you hate them, how you really feel. These things come genuinely from my heart. I believe them. I think we should all speak our truth because we're not here for a long time. This last month, we were supposed to stream a couple times. We lost a pet suddenly. No, a lot of people, that's not a big deal. To us, those are my kids. So we lost one of our pets suddenly. It was a bit traumatic for us. And so we haven't been here a lot. It took a little while for me to be able to sit in this room and do this. So with that being said, we are going to change some format. We are looking to do some different things, and we are upgrading in a huge way. So I remind you, spay or neuter your pets, help control the pet population, love your pets every day. You never know when it's going to be their last day. Love your family, love your friends. If you hate somebody, just be honest. Tell them to fuck off, right? Don't waste the time. Life is short. And I appreciate these guys for always being here. This is what I live for, to be around people that want to be around, that want to debate things without getting personal. So we have a lot of fun, and this is a safe space to be you. And I want to continue to have that here as we move forward. So don't forget, join like Nerd Mafia did today. Join, get a membership. It's $1. And we are going to be July 4th is going to be the big day. I'm going to do another video announcing it. I'm going to do a short announcing it, getting it out to the public. The giveaway's coming. The hopper's coming back out. We're doing a giveaway for Nintendo Switch. I'm not going to literally have one in house. I'm going to send you a gift card so that you can go and buy it yourself. That way there's no hubbub and shipping and breaking or any of that nonsense. So get your membership. They're $1. Any level gets you an entry. Please continue to be here. We appreciate you. And as always, may the force be with you. Until next time, please be safe out there. Join us next time.